The murder of a 19-year-old girl in Uttarakhand has shocked the conscience of the nation. Ankita Bhandari was working as a receptionist at the Vanantara resort on September 18th. Her employer, Pulkitaria, pushed her into a canal and killed her. 3 accused, including Pulkit, were arrested and they have confessed to their crime. The preliminary post-mortem report revealed that Ankita was first attacked by a weapon and then she died by drowning. The prelim report only highlighting the blunt force trauma that she faced. Her parents now want the report to be made public to show the complete picture of the accused brutality.
क्योंकि उनके साथ दुर्व्यवहार किया उन्होंने, और उसके बाद जब नहीं मानी उसके बाद उन्हें ले गए वहाँ, उसके बाद इसके मारपीट के, क्योंकि दांत टूट गए, खरोंच लगी है, तो उस मारपीट करके उसने नदी में गिरा दिया। हमारी मांग है कि इनके एक तो फास्ट टेक के अंदर इनको तुरंत फांस दीजिए, इन तीनों को।
Before the main accused confessed, he made a concerted effort to mislead the case. Pulkit and his aides first reported her missing. Then he lied about her whereabouts to a friend. CNN News 18 has exclusively accessed the conversation between Ankita's friend Pushp and the prime accused.
मैंने रिजॉर्ट में अपना वहीं रुका, सुबह निकला मैं रिजॉर्ट से 6 बजे करीब।
अभी आपका फोन मिला नहीं मिला अभी तक?
ना अभी नहीं मिला फोन मेरा।
नहीं मिला
ना।
तो आप अपने फोन को सर्च कीजिए ना।
अरे भाई मैंने सुबह उसको सौरभ को भेजा था ना अपने फोन को सर्च करने के लिए। मैंने सौरभ को बोला, मैंने कहा भास्कर को बोला, तो उसने मेरे को बोला कि भैया, उसने सौरभ को भेजा, उसने बोला भैया वो तो रूम में नहीं है।
Probe aside, politics is also raging over Ankita's murder. The Aam Aadmi Party and Congress have attacked the ruling BJP in the state as accused Pulkit is a suspended BJP leader's son. The Aam Aadmi Party protested in Delhi against Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami and demanded his resignation.
And some of the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, they are now also present here to show their anger against the Ankita murder case which recently happened.
Top Congress leaders also went all guns blazing and demanded answers from the BJP. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra tweeted that the Dhami government is just pretending to take action against the culprits and questioned why the complete post-mortem report was delayed. Former Chief Minister of the state Harish Rawat too put out his list of questions for the state government. But Team Dhami is defending its every move, from demolishing the resort to the arrest to now the case being tried in a fast-track court. Ankita's cold-blooded murder is the nation's biggest talking point.
अभी तक का है एविडेंस काफ़ी कलेक्ट किए हैं और उससे हम लोग बहुत जल्दी चार्जशीट विदिन 1 मंथ हमारा एक टारगेट है इसको हम चार्जशीट भेजें।
The chorus for justice and closure for her family is only growing louder. But as politics speaks, it begs the question, who really is letting Ankita down? Bureau Report, CNN News 18. It's a cold-blooded murder of a 19-year-old and questions are being raised about whether or not this beti was betrayed in a BJP-ruled state. But even as the investigation is on, is politics taking precedence and is that what is hurting this case? That is something that we are going to discuss on this broadcast. And for that, joining us is Uttarakhand BJP spokesperson Suresh Joshi. Mahima Singh of the Congress also joins us. Umakant Lakera, a senior journalist, will be joining us shortly. But I want to ask my first question to former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, Arvind Kumar Jain, because politics aside, Mr. Jain, I want to talk about the investigation of this particular case because there are several questions that are being raised as to how the state government went about the investigation in this particular one, especially the fact where they decided to bulldoze the resort where this victim and the accused were working. Could this be seen as an attempt to bury the evidence, to try and put a carpet over it, try and attempt a cover-up, as the Congress is alleging?
No, I don't think it is a cover-up. I think it has been done in good faith and before demolition. Evidences must have been collected by police force of Uttarakhand. Initially, the investigation application was given to the Patwari because it has revenue police in Uttarakhand. So he didn't lodge a case and he was seen sitting with Pulkit Arya. Allegations have been made by Ankita Bhandari's parents and brother. So then the investigation was transferred to Lakshman Jhula police. So there was naturally a delay of more than 24 hours in this process. But after that, I think police has taken action. All the three accused have been arrested, and whatever evidences they could gather, I think they have gathered from her room, from hotel, and only after that it must have been demolished. This is what I think.
Right.
This is what I have been told. Yes, that evidences had been collected, but yes, you are correct that they could have waited for a few days before demolishing the entire structure.
Right, they could have waited a few days, but they're using this as a mark of them actually acting swiftly as far as this entire case goes. And that is exactly where the Congress and the BJP are divided over the kind of action that is being taken, because the state government has come out and said that, look, we demolished it as a deterrent so that this does not happen again. We have formed an SIT as well. All the three accused are now behind bars. This is speedy and swift action. So yes, a crime took place, but we are taking all due action. The Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party here in the national capital as well, only mounting pressure on them, claiming that this is nothing but cosmetic. But Umakant Lakhera, this really opens up another Pandora's box as far as Uttarakhand and the whole Patwari system is concerned, isn't it? Because it perhaps is the only state where revenue officers are actually tasked with policing.
I can tell you one thing: this policing system was not there during there. You know, it was in the remote areas of the hill when it was a part of Uttar Pradesh, and this because it was a peaceful area and there is a small villages, and policing system was not practical there. And that point of time, there was no much policing system. And now when policing system when state was in carved out in 2001, so that all this problem of law and order related problem started. But now things have changed. And what happened in, we are talking about the Ankita's issue. I can tell you one thing. I have a very close relationship with that area. I born and brought in that area, so I can tell you one thing, that this Patwari system right now is a totally corrupt system. And I have an incident where a scheduled caste boy was, brutally beaten up by Patwari and Tehsildar, and he was in jail on the fake cases because of Yamkeshwar SPF was involved in that criminal act. So I can tell you one thing, that this is a good thing that the case was transferred to the police, because these Patwaris, they don't have a mechanism to investigate to cases. They don't have a system to forensic inquiry.
Absolutely,
system.
and like you said, that system was actually put in place years ago when the situation was extremely different. Times have changed now, and with those changing times, these kind of processes also need to change so that we do not see a repeat of this again. A 19-year-old, she's barely started her career, barely lived her life. Her family could not have been more distraught today. But having said that, Mahima Singh, as far as investigation in this case is concerned, an SIT has been formed. All three accused have now been arrested. They also have bulldozed the resort as a mark of deterrent so that this does not happen again. We've seen that kind of action take place against alleged rioters, against alleged lawbreakers in several other states as well. What is your grouse with the BJP government today? What more do you want them to do?
Poonam, it is Daughter's Day today, and unfortunately, I can't say Happy Daughter's Day from this platform today. We are ashamed. Our heads hang with shame, all of the citizens of this country, because not only the BJP is laden with leaders that continuously commit crime, but also they're experts in swiftly wiping off the evidence like they have done in Uttarakhand. I was just hearing the BJP spokesperson out, and it becomes very clear that they've been swift. They have quickly acted to bulldoze, that property. I wish to ask our viewers this, the citizens of this country this, because there's no use in asking the BJP spokesperson. Is there another party in this country, at least if not in the world, which has the number of public representatives and leaders with the amount of criminal records and criminal inclination as the BJP does, number one? And the other question is, who has given this ruling party, the BJP, the right to trample the law, bulldoze the law the way they have done? Have they taken the law in their hands Have they lost faith in the courts? Are they going to, be acting at the behest of their own, internal criminally
Right.
inclined
So it's the
leaders
BJP that is deciding to act as the judge, jury and executioner is what you're saying. That's been the allegation against the BJP as far as bulldozer action is concerned in multiple other states as well. And I would like to take that question, in fact, to the BJP representative who's here on this broadcast with us. Suresh Joshi ji, जल्दबाजी क्या थी? इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो रही है, ठीक है, आपको लगा कि बुलडोज करने से एक डिटरेंट होगा ताकि ये वापस हो ना, लेकिन जल्दबाजी क्या थी? इन्वेस्टिगेशन पूरी होती। इस केस में जो अक्यूज्ड है, मेन अक्यूज्ड है, उनके पिताजी बीजेपी में थे। क्या ये जल्दबाजी इसलिए है ताकि वो सारे जो तथ्य हैं वो ब्रश असाइड किए जाए, वो सारे जो एविडेंसेस हैं उनको छुपाया जा सके? ये आरोप लग रहा है आप पे आज?
नहीं, देखिए, पहली बात तो मैं बताऊं कि आज जो उत्तराखंड की बेटी के साथ हुआ है, पूरा एक तरह से उत्तराखंड शर्मसार है और भारतीय जनता पार्टी और ये सरकार की पहली प्राथमिकता, हमारी फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी है कि भाई किसी भी कीमत पर जो अपराधी है, जिन लोगों ने अपराध किया है, उनको कड़ी से कड़ी सजा दी जाए। और उस ओर जो है कि सरकार ने कड़े से कड़े कदम उठाए हैं। उस कड़ी पे ही जो है कि एक प्रतिबद्धता सरकार ने दिखाई है और पुष्कर सिंह धामी जी ने स्वयं पूरे चीज की वो खुद मॉनिटरिंग कर रहे हैं। वहां पर जो है कि पूरी पुलिसिंग की व्यवस्था से लेकर के यहाँ तक कह दिया गया है कि हम फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट पे भी मामले को ले जा करके त्वरित कार्रवाई कर करके विद इन 1 मंथ इस केस का जो है कि समाधान निकालेंगे और जो अंतिम सजा, जो लास्ट सजा कानून के तहत होती है, वो अपराधियों को दिलाई जाएगी। उस पर हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं। जहां तक आपने जिस विषय को कहा, देखिए, वहां पर को पुलिस के एसपी पौड़ी ने, मिस्टर सुयाल ने खुद ही बयान देके कह दिया है कि हमने सारी जो भी वहां से उस रिसोर्ट से जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन से लेनी है वो हम इकट्ठी कर चुके हैं। इन्फोसिस अपने फॉरेंसिक के लोग भी वहां पर को काम कर रहे हैं और साथ ही साथ पुलिस भी वहां पर काम कर रही है। और हमने ये भी बोला है कि इसके अदर से भी हमको कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन की आवश्यकता होगी, वो काम भी हम करेंगे। यानी सरकार ने पूरी ताकत जो के साथ और पूरी एक प्रतिबद्धता के साथ उस केस को हाथ में ले रखा है और हम चाहते हैं कि उस बेटी को न्याय मिले और उत्तराखंड के अंदर आगे आने वाले समय में कोई भी इस तरह का कृत्य न कर पाए, ये कार्य में सरकार
जी बिल्कुल। So this is just setting an example, says the BJP. Mahima Singh, you do not agree? Quick rebuttal.
I quickly want to interject and ask Poonam के कौन से प्रावधान के तहत बुलडोज किया? Which provision of law have they acted under by bulldozing that building? Can they just tell that to our viewers and not even going to all the other the elaborate list of the crimes that the BJP has on its hands? I'm just asking a simple question: which provision of law allows you to bulldoze a property where there is significant evidence in a criminal case? Which provision? Let him answer that, please.
सुरेश जोशी जी, क्विक रिबटल, आई एम रनिंग आउट ऑफ टाइम। लॉ को बुलडोज किया जा रहा है यहाँ पे, क्रिमिनल्स को नहीं, ऐसा आरोप लग रहा है आप पे?
नहीं, देखिए, पहली बात तो मैं आपको पूनम जी बहुत क्लियर कर दूं कि उस एरिया में जिस तरह से आक्रोश है, एक तो वहां पर कोई फैक्ट्री एरिया है और दूसरा वहां पर कोई रिसोर्ट एरिया है। देखिए, रिसोर्ट एरिया पूरी तरह से सुरक्षित है, पुलिस की कस्टडी में है, पुलिस ने उसको सील किया हुआ है और वहां की जो सबूत हमको वहां से लेने हैं वो हमने सारे सबूत इकट्ठे किए हैं और भी जो उसके सबूत हैं वो हम और भी देख रहे हैं। लेकिन अभी तक फिलहाल आप और हम जब बात कर रहे हैं तो पुलिस वहां से हर उस सबूत को ढूंढ चुकी है जिसकी हमको इन्वेस्टिगेशन में आवश्यकता है। इसलिए
बिल्कुल, so the investigation is on and so is the politics, unfortunately. We have seen the kind of charges and counter charges that have been flying thick and fast. Mahima Singh, unfortunately, I'm running out of time and I cannot come back to you, but we do hope that there is some semblance of closure for the family of Ankita Bhandari. There is justice. We hope that in the fast track court, when this case goes, there is the capital punishment call that has been given by the family. We do hope that the strictest of punishment is meted out to these 3 accused as per the provisions of the law, because law reigns supreme here in our country. But I thank all my panelists for joining us here on this broadcast. We'll be back after a quick break, but there's lots happening in Rajasthan. There is the Pilot versus Gehlot fight that is brewing, and round 2 of muscle flexing is on. We'll get you all the very latest on the other side of a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
attack on Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy. In a Facebook post, he wrote, and I quote, "NTR is the backbone of Telugu civilization. There are leaders who are still thriving on the arms left behind by this greatest man," unquote. Convicts in Bilkis Bano case have filed an affidavit before Supreme Court, terming their remission justified and as per the remission policy of the Gujarat government. The convicts have also added that the plea filed against the remission by Mahua Moitra and Suhashini Ali is politically motivated. Pune police has taken cognizance of the slogan raised during PFI protests yesterday and is investigating all slogans raised in the protests. Pakistan Zindabad slogans were heard outside the district collector's office where PFI cadres gathered against the recent ED CBI police raids against their outfit. Some cadres were detained by the police and others arrested this morning. In an effort to unite opposition parties ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and RJD Chief Lalu Prasad Yadav will be meeting Congress President Sonia Gandhi in New Delhi on Sunday. Day after, Amit Shah slammed the Bihar Chief Minister for betraying the people's mandate and ditching the BJP, Lalu Prasad Yadav hit back at the Union Minister. He said BJP government has been removed in Bihar and BJP will be decimated in 2024 as well.
अमित शाह बिल्कुल पगलाए हुए हैं तो उनकी सरकार वहाँ से साफ हो गया और 24 में भी सफाया होने वाला है इसलिए वो दौड़ दौड़ के जा रहे हैं बोल रहे हैं जंगल राज ये राज वो राज अभी गुजरात में जब थे तो क्या किए थे नहीं उनका जंगल राज था गुजरात में जब ये थे वो
Union Home Minister Amit Shah reviewed border security with DGs of SSB, BSF and ITBP in Bihar's Kishanganj. Meanwhile, earlier he inaugurated the building of 4 border observation posts at Fatehpur, Pektola, Baria Amgachi and Raniganj in Kishanganj. Farmers from Haryana who had blocked the GT road in Kurukshetra on Friday over demands for early procurement of paddy have lifted the blockade. The stir was lifted after farmers had talks with the district administration and they were ensured that paddy procurement would start immediately. Kerala Youth Congress workers marched towards Crime Branch office in Trivandrum against the arrest of Youth Congress leader Jitin Kalathur, who was arrested for throwing explosives at AKG Centre, the CPIM state headquarters. Jitin was arrested after nearly 3 months of the incident after the police had come under fire for its failure. Body of 19-year-old Ankita, who was missing since September 19, was recovered by police today in Rishikesh. The young receptionist was allegedly killed by a BJP worker's son and her body dumped in Chila Canal. 3 accused have been arrested in connection with this murder.
बहुत गलत हुआ बहुत हम तो कह रहे हैं जल्द से जल्दी फांसी उनको या तो आग जला मिट्टी तेल डाल के आग लगा दो उन पे या तो फांसी और जल्दी से जल्दी होनी चाहिए 1-2 दिन के अंदर ऐसे नहीं महीनों लगा दो
मैं रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक सभी अदालतों को कि इस मामले में बहुत ही सख्ती से संज्ञान ले ये घिनौनी कांड करने के फैसले के लिए
ऐसे लोगों को फांसी पे चढ़ाना चाहिए जल्द से जल्द इसका वो होना चाहिए.
Meanwhile, Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has assured a fair probe and stern action against the accused. Dhami has also formed an SIT to investigate the matter.
उसको लेकर हम लोग पूरी तरह से कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं और त्वरित हमने कार्रवाई की है. राजस्व पुलिस ने उसमें कुछ देरी की है, उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई की है, सस्पेंशन की कार्रवाई की है और भी कोई कार्रवाई होगी तो वो कार्रवाई भी करेंगे. पुलिस ने जहां आरोपियों को जेल डाला है और साथ ही साथ जो ध्वस्तीकरण की प्रक्रिया है वह भी हमने करी है. SIT गठित कर दी है जिससे कि कोई भी पहलू अपराध और अपराध करने वालों का न छूटे.
Meanwhile, locals set the Vanatara resort in Rishikesh on fire. This resort is owned by BJP leader Vinod Arya's son Pulkit, who is the main accused in this case. Besides, locals protested against BJP MLA Renu Bisht and vandalized her car. After anger over this case, the MLA was escorted away by the police. BJP has expelled Vinod Arya, father of Pulkit Arya, the main accused in the receptionist's murder. Vinod Arya is a former minister and member of the national executive of the BJP OBC Morcha. Pulkit's brother Ankita Arya has also been expelled from
Welcome back. Breaking news now coming in from Rajasthan, where Gehlot camp is flexing its muscle. The MLAs are on their way to the Speaker's residence. That's the latest that we're gathering for you here on CNN News 18, where 92 MLAs, all of whom side with Ashok Gehlot, the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, have now come out and said that if Gehlot does not continue as Chief Minister and if there is an attempt to replace him, then 92 of them will resign. They are ready to sign their resignation. They are ready to submit that resignation to Speaker C.P. Joshi at this moment. Pallavi Ghosh, my colleague, now joins us for the very latest. Now, there's a massive amount of muscle flexing there as far as Gehlot camp is concerned. 92 of the 200-strong assembly strength, if they decide to resign, that's going to be bad news.
That's terrible news, and it also makes it more and more difficult for the central leadership now to find a way out. It also puts now pressure, and this is what I'm picking up by way of my sources, that many of the MLAs are also now questioning the top Congress leadership, that there were some of them who stood by Ashok Gehlot at a time when there was a rebellion, when obviously the fingers being pointed at Sachin Pilot, when there were attempts being made to destabilize the government. Why is it that those people should be given importance at this point of time? And why should those who stuck by Ashok Gehlot not be given a chance? Very clearly, there's an attempt being made by those loyal to Ashok Gehlot to replace him, just in case Ashok Gehlot has to resign as the CM should he become the Congress president. Of course, they're also buying time by saying any decision can only be taken once the election results are out, and therefore the threat of the resignation, which means that if we thought that any decision would be taken tonight, that's certainly not happening. There is going to be this perception problem also for Sachin Pilot, that is he being actually left alone? Is he being deserted by many of the MLAs? And at the end of the day, for any poll-bound state, you also have to have a chief minister on the saddle who has the maximum number of MLAs, or at least can send out the perception that the strength is with him. At this point of time, that's the message which certainly seems to be coming in from the Ashok Gehlot camp.
Right, so their pressure-building tactic there clearly from Ashok Gehlot's supporters and his MLAs. Bhavani, my colleague, also joins us for the very latest. High drama there ensuing in Jaipur. Bhavani, CLP की जो मीटिंग थी, उस मीटिंग में गहलोत के जो सपोर्टिंग विधायक थे वो उस मीटिंग में नहीं गए. उनकी अलग से एक बैठक चल रही थी. उस बैठक में यह डिसाइड हुआ है कि अगर गहलोत को निकालने की कोशिश की जाएगी चीफ मिनिस्टर के पद से तो हम भी इस्तीफा दे देंगे.
देखिए कि इस वक्त जो विधायक है वो सीएलपी की बैठक के बजाय यहाँ पर पहुंचे. क्या कहेंगे तो इस वक्त आप देखिए कि जो तस्वीरें हैं, ये तस्वीरें बता रही है, ये इस वक्त जो बस है, ये बस यहाँ पर सीपी जोशी, राजस्थान विधानसभा के अध्यक्ष सीपी जोशी के घर पहुंच चुकी है इस्तीफा देने के लिए. सामूहिक रूप से गहलोत कैंप के विधायक इस्तीफा दे रहे हैं. बड़ी ब्रेकिंग खबर है. इस वक्त सीपी जोशी के गेट के बाहर विधायकों की बस लग चुकी है. राजस्थान में कांग्रेस का भविष्य इस वक्त स्पीकर के घर के बाहर है और यहाँ से अशोक गहलोत कैंप ने डिसाइड कर लिया है कि वो इस्तीफा देंगे. सभी विधायक, अशोक गहलोत कैंप के 92 विधायक है, 92 MLA जो यहाँ पर, उनका क्लेम है कि 92 MLA राजस्थान के अंदर, क्योंकि जो इसमें सपोर्टर भी है. अभी यहाँ पर एक तस्वीर हम कोशिश करेंगे कि यहाँ से आपको यह पूरा आप देखिए कि इलाका कॉर्डन ऑफ कर दिया गया और यहाँ ये कोशिश की जा रही है कि यहाँ टीकाराम जी, क्या आप
अभी बताएंगे, अभी बता रहे हैं.
अच्छा, क्यों जरूरत आ गई इस्तीफा देने की?
अभी देखते हैं, अभी सारी चीज अभी पता करेंगे.
क्या चाहते क्या हैं, आपको क्या होना चाहिए? क्या आपकी नाराजगी इस बात को लेकर है कि अचानक आप यहाँ पर ऑब्जर्वर भेज दिए या फिर सचिन पायलट को सीएम बनाया जा रहा है? टीकाराम जी, क्या नाराजगी जो इस्तीफा देने तक की बात आ गई?
कोई नाराजगी नहीं.
टीकाराम जी, थोड़ी सी बात कर दीजिए. अब देखिए कि ये टीकाराम जूली गहलोत सरकार के समर्थक है, मिनिस्टर है राजस्थान सरकार के अंदर.
कि मुझे अशोक गहलोत ने 3 बार मंत्री बनाया, मैं उनके साथ हूँ और
क्या इस्तीफा लेके भावना
इस्तीफा दे रहे हैं ना, इंतजार तो करो.
क्या क्यों नौबत आ गई? क्यों नौबत आ गई?
पसंद का विधायक सीएम नहीं बन रहा था.
अशोक गहलोत जी ने हमसे जैसलमेर में वायदा किया था, मैं आपका 5 साल अभिभावक बनकर सेवा करूंगा. अगर वो जाएंगे तो हम भी विधायक नहीं रहेंगे.
दूसरा प्रसादी लाल मीणा, ये मिनिस्टर है, स्वास्थ्य मंत्री है, अशोक गहलोत के समर्थक हैं और यहाँ पर कह रहे हैं कि इस्तीफा देने जा रहे हैं.
इस्तीफा देने जा रहे हैं.
ये तमाम विधायक यहाँ पर इस वक्त इस्तीफा देने के लिए सीपी जोशी, विधानसभा अध्यक्ष सीपी जोशी के घर पर जा रहे हैं और ये तस्वीरें बता रही है कि राजस्थान में इस वक्त पॉलिटिकल अखाड़ा बन चुका है। पहले नगरीय विकास मंत्री शांति धारीवाल का घर, अब राजस्थान विधानसभा के अध्यक्ष सीपी जोशी का घर इस वक्त अखाड़ा बन चुका है और इस वक्त विधायक गहलोत कैंप के विधायक है वो इस्तीफा देने जा रहे हैं। दूसरी तरफ सचिन पायलट कैंप के विधायक है खामोश है इस वक्त और वो मुख्यमंत्री आवास पहुंच चुके हैं। मुख्यमंत्री आवास जहां पर विधायक दल की औपचारिक बैठक होनी थी, जहां ये रायशुमारी की जानी थी, जहां ये तय होना था कि अगला चीफ मिनिस्टर कौन होगा, वहां पर अब आप देखिए कि एक एक विधायक यहाँ पर लगातार ये दबाव बनाया जा रहा है। ये संयम लोड़ा है मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत के सलाहकार।
मुख्यमंत्री लॉयलिस्ट ग्रुप से होना चाहिए। वो 102 लोग जिन्होंने सरकार बचाई थी।
आपके अधिकार का हनन हुआ संयम लोड़ा। बड़ी बात, जो बात ये तस्वीर संयम लोढ़ा साफ कर चुके हैं मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत के सलाहकार संयम लोढ़ा। वो ये कह रहे हैं कि जिन्होंने केवल मुख्यमंत्री लॉयलिस्ट में से होना चाहिए, यानी कि सचिन पायलट पर आरोप लगा रहे हैं कि वो लॉयलिस्ट नहीं है। लॉयलिस्ट क्यों नहीं है, इस कहानी को समझने के लिए 1 साल पहले की तस्वीर को समझना होगा। जब अशोक गहलोत सरकार गिरने की नौबत आ गई थी, जब सचिन पायलट और अपने समर्थक विधायकों के साथ हरियाणा के मानेसर में बैठे थे, नाराजगी थी। अब गहलोत कैंप उसी को मुद्दा बना रहा है कि सचिन पायलट और उसके समर्थक लॉयलिस्ट नहीं है, वफादार नहीं है पार्टी हाईकमान के, इसलिए इस्तीफा दिया जाना चाहिए। सर आप बताएं सर। तो आप देखिए कि एक एक करके विधायक मंत्री यहाँ पर पहुंच रहे हैं और इस्तीफा देने के लिए मुद्दा है कि सचिन पायलट को मुख्यमंत्री नहीं बनाया जाए। यानी कि इससे एक तस्वीर साफ हो गई है कि पार्टी हाईकमान यानी सोनिया गांधी ये फैसला कर चुकी है, राहुल गांधी, सोनिया गांधी, प्रियंका गांधी, कि राजस्थान के अंदर सचिन पायलट को अगली कमान दी जाए। और ये मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत की जानकारी में था कि कहीं न कहीं यहाँ पर इस वक्त सचिन पायलट को कमान देने के लिए फैसला होने वाला है और उसी को देखते हुए यहाँ पर उनके खिलाफ कि सचिन पायलट को मुख्यमंत्री न बनाया जाए, वो वफादार नहीं है क्योंकि उन्होंने सरकार गिराने की कोशिश की और लॉयलिस्ट में से बनाए। लॉयलिस्ट का मतलब जो अशोक गहलोत के लिए वफादार थे, वो 92 MLA जो लेकर गए, इनमें से मुख्यमंत्री बनाया जाए, इस मांग को लेकर यहाँ पर पहुंचे। जी,
हाई ड्रामा देयर आउटसाइड द स्पीकर्स होम in Jaipur. A bus full of Congress MLAs there, perhaps wanting to resign, setting an ultimatum for the Congress top brass. CNN News 18 tracking all the very latest from Jaipur on ground there. But a quick break. We'll be back in just 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Of 19-year-old Ankita, who was missing since September 19, was recovered by police today in Rishikesh. The young receptionist was allegedly killed by a BJP worker's son and her body dumped in Chira Canal. 3 accused have been arrested in connection with this murder.
बहुत गलत हुआ, बहुत। हम तो कह रहे हैं जल्द से जल्दी फांसी उनको, या तो आग जला, मिट्टी तेल डाल के आग लगा दो उन पे, या तो फांसी, और जल्दी से जल्दी होनी चाहिए। 1-2 दिन के अंदर ऐसे नहीं, महीनों लगा दो।
मैं रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक सभी अदालतों को कि इस मामले में बहुत ही सख्ती से संज्ञान ले, ये घिनौनी कांड करने के फैसले के लिए।
ऐसे लोगों को फांसी पे चढ़ाना चाहिए, जल्द से जल्द इसका वो होना चाहिए।
Meanwhile, Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has assured a fair probe and stern action against the accused. Dhami has also formed an SIT to investigate the matter.
उसको लेकर हम लोग पूरी तरह से कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं और त्वरित हमने कार्रवाई की है। राजस्व पुलिस ने उसमें कुछ देरी की है, उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई की है, सस्पेंशन की कार्रवाई की है, और भी कोई कार्रवाई होगी तो वो कार्रवाई भी करेंगे। पुलिस ने जहां आरोपियों को जेल डाला है और साथ ही साथ जो ध्वस्तीकरण की प्रक्रिया है वह भी हमने करी है। SIT गठित कर दी है जिससे कि कोई भी पहलू अपराध और अपराध करने वालों का न छूटे।
Meanwhile, locals set the Vanatara resort in Rishikesh on fire. This resort is owned by BJP leader Vinod Arya's son Pulkit, who is the main accused in this case. Besides, locals protested against BJP MLA Renu Bisht and vandalized her car. After anger over this case, the MLA was escorted away by the police. BJP has expelled Vinod Arya, father of Pulkit Arya, the main accused in the receptionist murder. Vinod Arya is a former minister and member of the national executive of the BJP OBC Morcha. Pulkit's brother Ankita Arya has also been expelled from the party. More trouble mounts for Aam Aadmi Party as Delhi LG Vinay Saxena has ordered an FIR into the alleged 20 crore scam in Delhi Jal Board. The allegation is that the Delhi Jal Board deposited 20 crore rupees collected as water bills in a private account instead of the official account. Delhi Jal Board Vice Chairman and Aam Aadmi Party MLA Saurabh Bhardwaj has welcomed the investigation into this alleged scam. He said that Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia had also recommended this sort of an investigation.
मनीष जी को दिल्ली जल बोर्ड के सीईओ ने इसके बारे में बताया था, तो मनीष जी ने खुद इसकी रिकमेंडेशन की थी कि आप इसकी जांच कराइए, और चाहे केंद्र सरकार के बैंक के अधिकारी हो, चाहे दिल्ली जल बोर्ड के अधिकारी हो, सबसे सख्ती करनी चाहिए। इसके अंदर हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, हर जांच।
Welcome back. There's massive drama in Rajasthan, in Jaipur, where Gehlot camp MLAs are now at the Speaker's residence, all ready to resign, just as national observers landed in Jaipur to take a decision on the party's future. If Ashok Gehlot decides to take on the national role of the Congress's party president, 92 MLAs are ready to resign, submit their resignation to the Speaker as we speak. That's the bus carrying these 90-odd MLAs who are turning up at the Speaker's residence in batches. Let's listen into reactions coming in from these Congress MLAs backing Ashok Gehlot.
सोनिया गांधी जी, राहुल गांधी, अशोक गहलोत जी जब भी आह्वान करेंगे आंदोलन के लिए, सड़कों पर संघर्ष के लिए, हम अपनी जान दे देंगे। और किसी भी कीमत पर जब भी कांग्रेस पार्टी को जरूरत होगी तब हम अपनी जान दे देंगे। गरीबी महंगाई जबरदस्त है देश में। बीजेपी का षड्यंत्र राजस्थान में कामयाब नहीं होना चाहिए। भारतीय जनता पार्टी पहले भी षड्यंत्र करती है। बीजेपी के लोग लगे हुए 4 सरकार को अस्थिर करने के लिए। भारतीय जनता पार्टी राजस्थान की सरकार को गिराना चाहती है। सरकार आपको लग रहा है कि सरकार गिर गई? सरकार नहीं गिर सकती। सत्ता में हमारे जो इस्तीफा दे रहे हैं और जो नाराजगी है, नाराजगी दूर हमारे परिवार के मुखिया संभालेंगे, करेंगे, सुनेंगे बात तो दूर हो जाएगी।
ब्लैकमेल हो रहा है क्या? ये कहा जा रहा है कि इमोशनल ब्लैकमेल है, क्या इमोशनल ब्लैकमेल है?
एक बात बताइए। हाँ बताइए। मैंने आपको किसी व्यक्ति का नाम नहीं दिया। आप लोकतंत्र संख्या बल से चलता है ना। राजस्थान के विधायक जिसके साथ होगा वो लीडर होगा ना। 100 क्रॉस MLA एक तरफ है और 10-15 MLA एक तरफ है। वो मेरी बात सुनिए आप। 10 अपनी बोलते रहेंगे, 10-15 MLA अपनी बात कहेंगे, उनकी सुनी जाएगी।
लेकिन सर
और 100 MLA
तय करेगा।
आप तय करोगे क्या?
पार्टी
आप तय करोगे क्या? कमाल कर रहे हैं।
आप लोग मीटिंग में क्यों नहीं गए या कोई मौका क्यों नहीं दिया? क्योंकि बातचीत तो
आला कमान के लिए मैं खुद, आप समझ लीजिए, सुबह तनोट माता का वो मंदिर है जहाँ 450 पाकिस्तान के बम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो गए फटे। वहाँ अशोक गहलोत जी के साथ मैं और हमारे पार्टी के डोटासरा जी गए थे। माता जी का आशीर्वाद लेकर आए। सीएम साहब अपने घर चले गए। वहाँ पूरी तैयारी थी मीटिंग की, सुन लीजिए। वो घर चले गए। डोटासरा जी और मैं वहाँ गए खड़के साहब से और माकन साहब से मेरी बात हुई। मैं डोटासरा जी को बुला, उनको धारीवाल जी को लेने गया। धारीवाल जी ने कहा यार ये मुझे जाने ही नहीं दे रहे। वहाँ 90 से ज्यादा विधायक इकट्ठे हो चुके थे जब मैं पहुंचा। विधायकों ने कहा साहब हम आपके एक आह्वान पर, सीएम साहब ने जब ये कहा कि मैं तुम्हारा अभिभावक हूँ, तुम्हारी हर भावना का मैं सम्मान रखूंगा। आप हम जो 108 विधायक, 125 विधायक निर्दलीय भी वहाँ हैं, हम आपके साथ खड़े रहे। पार्टी हमारी सुनती नहीं, अपने आप फैसले हो जाते हैं। तो जब आंदोलन होगा, संघर्ष होगा तो सोनिया गांधी जी, राहुल गांधी के आह्वान पर जान दे देंगे, हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। अगला कदम आप देख लेना। माकन साहब के हमारे रिश्ते बहुत अच्छे हैं। जरूरत होगी दिल्ली भी जाएंगे, हमारा परिवार भी।
आला कमान से बात करेंगे, परेड करेंगे।
वो नहीं करे, आला कमान हमारे परिवार का मुखिया है। ये आपसे पूछ के तोड़ना जाएंगे, हमें कहाँ जाना है ये तो हम तय करेंगे। बताओ आप ही, ये भी प्रेस हमें बता रही है। राजस्थान की जनता प्रताप सिंह खाचरियावास को जानती है। ये
राजस्थान में जाट चीफ मिनिस्टर बनाने की जो हमारे सोर्सेज कहते हैं, उसमें गोविंद सिंह डोटासरा राजस्थान कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष हैं, उन पर भी वो दांव खेलने के लिए तैयार हैं। तो अशोक गहलोत अपने कैंप में से किसी को भी चीफ मिनिस्टर बनाने के लिए तैयार है, लेकिन सचिन पायलट को सीएम बनते नहीं देखना चाहते हैं। और ये सारा जो बैटल ग्राउंड सजा हुआ है इस वक्त, वो इस बात को लेकर सजा हुआ है क्योंकि पार्टी हाईकमान तकरीबन मन बना। आप देखिए नाराबाजी शुरू होगी है, आप देखिए कि ये गहलोत के समर्थन अलग अलग यहाँ पर अलग अलग तरीके से जगह शक्ति प्रदर्शन चल रहा। तो यहाँ पर प्रताप सिंह खाचरियावास गहलोत, अशोक गहलोत के
They're reporting live as the action unfolds, as the drama unfolds late night on a Sunday evening outside the Speaker's residence. Shehzad Poonawala of the BJP with us. Thank you so much, Shehzad, for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Is this a pressure-building tactic by Gehlot? Is this him nudging the top brass here in Delhi that it's my way or the highway, you have no other option?
No, that is really for the Congress party to decipher what its internal dynamics are. Obviously, Mr. Ashok Gehlot is clearly sending out a loud and clear message to the Gandhis whose credibility and whose popularity within the party too seems to be completely eroded. But having said that, today I am feeling perturbed about the people of Rajasthan. It is the people of Rajasthan who have to face this and see this. When this government came to power, even then you saw the kind of power politics that played out. 50 days the MLAs were in hostels and hotels and they were trying to just grab power. Rajasthan suffered, and tonight again Rajasthan suffers. Instead of having cabinet meetings to decide as to how Rajasthan can be made rape mukt, danga mukt, aparadh mukt, you have people playing petty political power games at the behest of the Congress First family, and Rajasthan is suffering, and therefore today's images are only a reinforcement of what is going to happen in 2023. People are going to reject this government, they're going to throw them out, and they're going to replace them with a strong and stable government, a double engine ki sarkar very soon.
This is the BJP, of course, eyeing an entry in ahead of elections next year, Shehzad, but the MLAs there going on to say that we don't really want to resign. The government is not going to fall. This is just to show that there are 92 on our side. And this is perhaps Gehlot trying to say that, the support is with me. So this whole one man, one position, one post principle of the Congress party cannot stand with me, because if I go or if you replace me as the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, then you're going to lose the government.
Well, that is for the Congress party to tell us now that when Mr. Gehlot is clearly giving a strong and a stern message to the Gandhis that he will listen to nobody and he will do what he wants to do on his own, then it is for the Gandhis to now and for the Congress party to tell us what happens to their Udaipur declaration. And frankly, this was always marked and lined with hypocrisy. We know that Indira Gandhi was the president and the prime minister. We know Rajiv Gandhi was the president and the prime minister. So the Gandhis have always held two positions for one person. And they were lecturing Ashok Gehlot, and clearly Ashok Gehlot doesn't want to take it lying down.
Right, Shehzad Poonawala, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. The BJP there claiming this is nothing but a sham, but CNN News 18 getting you the very latest of the drama that unfolds there in Jaipur. Let's cut across to what's happening outside the Speaker's residence.
हम फिर आप बड़ी तस्वीर बताने की कोशिश करेंगे। लगातार यहाँ बदलता जा रहा माहौल, हर पल नारेबाजी शुरू हो गई है। अशोक गहलोत के समर्थक लगातार नारेबाजी कर रहे हैं और आप देखिए कि अक्सर हमने देखा कि सचिन पायलट के समर्थक उग्र होते हैं और भीड़ ज्यादा होती है, वो पायलट के समर्थन में नारेबाजी ज्यादा करते हैं, लेकिन आज
we'll try and reconnect with Bhavani, who's getting us the very latest from on ground there. But bus full of Congress MLAs, all of whom who are Ashok Gehlot's supporters, ready to hand in their resignation if the two national observers that are in Jaipur decide to replace him as the Chief Minister of Rajasthan. This really is a test for the interim President Sonia Gandhi, because The Congress wants us to believe, wants the country to believe that they believe in the principle of one man, one position. That's the exact principle that Ashok Gehlot is now trying to bypass with this pressure tactic that he seems to be mounting on the Gandhi Parivar, on Sonia Gandhi, the interim president. Not only has he thrown his hat in the ring for the Congress's top job, but he also wants to cling on to his Chief Minister's chair. Satish Punia of the BJP with us on this broadcast. धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए पुनिया जी। क्या सरकार गिर जाएगी?
नहीं, गिरने का तो नहीं पता, लेकिन जिस तरीके से पिछले 4.25 साल में 2018 में सरकार के गठन से लेकर जो नारे लगे, जो झगड़ा हुआ, बाड़े में बंद रहे, राजस्थान की पूरी गवर्नेंस को खराब किया, बर्बाद किया, तो ऐसी पार्टी से कोई उम्मीद नहीं की जा सकती। इसलिए ये इनके कर्म है, गिर भी सकते हैं, नहीं तो राजस्थान को जरूर गिरा दिया।
जी, अगले साल चुनाव होने वाले हैं सतीश पुनिया जी, क्या आपको लगता है पायलट वर्सेस गहलोत के चक्कर में राजस्थान तो सफर कर ही रही है, बट ये इलेक्शन भी संभव नहीं हो पाएगा जीतना कांग्रेस को?
नहीं, कांग्रेस तो परसेप्शन, एंटी इनकम्बेंसी दोनों ही आधार पर उसकी वापसी तो कतई संभव नहीं है, लेकिन इसमें जरूर कोर्ट में खाज का काम करेगा कि इनका जो अंतर्कलह है वो कांग्रेस की बड़ी हार का कारण बनेगा।
सतीश पुनिया जी, राहुल गांधी ने कुछ दिनों पहले कहा कि एक इंसान एक पद, हम इस प्रिंसिपल में बिलीव करते हैं एज फार एज द कांग्रेस पार्टी इज कंसर्न, वन मैन वन पोजीशन। अशोक गहलोत ने पहले कहा मेरे केस में ये प्रिंसिपल मायने ही नहीं रखता, उसका कोई लेना ही नहीं है। फिर अब उन्होंने, जब राहुल गांधी ने उनको नच किया, फिर उन्होंने आगे कहा नहीं कोई बात नहीं, मैं छोड़ने को तैयार हूं, जो मुझसे पार्टी कहेगी वो मैं करूंगा। अब जो हो रहा है जयपुर में, जो एमएलएस कह रहे हैं कि अगर अशोक गहलोत को चीफ मिनिस्टर के पद से निकालने की कोशिश की तो हम अपना इस्तीफा दे देंगे, क्या आपको लगता है ये अशोक गहलोत का प्रेशर बिल्डिंग टैक्टिक है सोनिया और राहुल गांधी पे?
डेफिनेटली, जो अशोक गहलोत जी को जो जानते हैं राजस्थान में, वो जिस तरीके की राजनीति करते हैं, तो मोटे तौर पर वो उसी प्रेशर की राजनीति का ही एक उदाहरण है कि इस बहाने वो कुछ न कुछ अपने मन की करवाना चाह रहे होंगे, या कहीं न कहीं जिस तरीके का उनकी डोमिनेंस है वो जो प्रकट करना चाह रहे हैं उसका एक तरीका निकाला उन्होंने। इस तरीके से मुझे नहीं लगता कि ये सियासी पाखंड से ज्यादा कुछ है।
जी, Satish Punia ji, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. That was the BJP's Rajasthan chief, but reactions pouring in as the drama unfolds there in Jaipur. Let's listen in.
और संगठन का प्रदर्शन हुआ है।
शक्ति कैसे आई है तो कह रहे चीफ?
शक्ति इसलिए आई है कि सबने भाजपा के खिलाफ ये साबित कर दिया है कि हम सब कांग्रेस
भाजपा के खिलाफ नहीं, यहाँ तो सचिन पायलट के खिलाफ लड़ रहे हैं।
ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है।
अभी कह रहे हैं कि उनको चीफ मिनिस्टर नहीं बनाया जाए, जिन्होंने सरकार गिराने की कोशिश की, और लॉयलिस्ट को बनाया जाए। लॉयलिस्ट कौन है, वफादार कौन है?
वो जो 102 विधायक यहाँ पर एक साथ आए हैं, उन्होंने ये दिखाया है कि हम लोग कांग्रेस में
102 हैं संख्या, आपको जानकारी है?
जो यहाँ पर बताई गई है संख्या 102 के करीब संख्या बताई गई है, और ये लोग बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से सब लोग एक साथ माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय के निवास पर आए हैं। और इनका जो
ये कांग्रेस नेताओं का यहाँ पर जमावड़ा लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा है, और सबके अपने अपने समर्थक हैं, अपनी अपनी राय, अपनी अपनी ओपिनियन लोग यहाँ पर दिए जा रहे हैं। प्रताप सिंह कचरियावास, हम कोशिश करेंगे एक बार बात करने की। प्रताप सिंह,
all the MLAs there descending at CP Joshi, the speaker's residence, all ready to hand in their resignation. Only one condition: let Ashok Gehlot stay on as the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, and we will continue. If you try and replace him as the Chief Minister, and more so if you try and do so with Sachin Pilot, then there is going to be hell to pay. That's the message that the Congress MLAs there on ground are sending to the two national observers that are in Jaipur there, also to Sonia and Rahul Gandhi sitting here in the national capital. Let's cut across to the action back there.
जो मोटे तौर पर जानकारी थी, जिससे नाराजगी थी, नाराजगी इस बात को लेकर थी कि यहाँ पर जो ऑब्जर्वर पहुंचे हैं वो ये सहमति लेना चाहते थे कि विधायक पार्टी हाईकमान के जो भी फैसला लेंगे उसके लिए तैयार होंगे, और अशोक गहलोत कैंप के विधायकों को लगता था कि यहाँ पर फैसला ये लिया जा रहा है कि पार्टी हाईकमान सचिन पायलट को सीएम बनाना चाहता है। उसको लेकर नाराजगी थी। एक नाराजगी और थी, और इस बात को लेकर थी कि अशोक गहलोत ने अभी राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष के लिए नामांकन दाखिल नहीं किया। जो गहलोत कैंप के विधायक है उनका कहना है कि ये अशोक गहलोत की इंसल्ट है। अशोक गहलोत जब नामांकन दाखिल नहीं किया उससे पहले अगले चीफ मिनिस्टर की रायशुमारी की जा रही है। अशोक गहलोत ने इस्तीफा दिया, ने लिया गया, तो उसको लेकर भी काफी सारी नाराजगी है। तो अब यहाँ पर जो लड़ाई है वो इस बात को लेकर है कि दो बड़ी बातें हैं कि एक राजस्थान में चीफ मिनिस्टर को लेकर कि अब अशोक गहलोत आखिर चाहते क्या है, क्या वो खुद चीफ मिनिस्टर रहना चाहते हैं? एक जिस तरीके से उनके विधायक कहते हैं कि वही चीफ मिनिस्टर है, यहाँ तक धमकी दी जा रही है कि अगर अशोक गहलोत को हटा दिया गया तो राजस्थान में सरकार गिर जाएगी। ये नहीं कि सरकार आएगी नहीं, सरकार गिर जाएगी। और ये बार बार धमकी इसलिए दी जा रही है कि राजस्थान में
pressure tactic there by Gehlot, shadow boxing really, because he is not saying a word. He says on the face of it, I'm ready to do what the party top brass, what Sonia Gandhi wants me to do. But in the shadows, behind the scenes, you have his MLAs there mounting pressure on the two national observers that have come there, Mallikarjun Kharge and Ajay Makhan. Do not replace Ashok Gehlot as the chief minister or you will have to pay the price. Listen in to those reactions coming in.
तौर पे जिसके समर्थक हैं वो वही बात करेंगे। यहाँ से नारेबाजी शुरू हो गई, यहाँ पर अलग अलग तरीके से पुलिस यहाँ से भीड़ को हटाने की कोशिश कर रही है। यहाँ शक्ति प्रदर्शन का सिलसिला भी अलग अलग शुरू हो रहा है। लेकिन एक बात हम लगातार देख रहे हैं कि पायलट के समर्थक, सचिन पायलट के समर्थक अपने आप काफी जगह इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं। बुलाने की जरूरत नहीं है या किसी को कहने की जरूरत नहीं है। सचिन पायलट की एक पॉपुलैरिटी भी है, लेकिन वो भीड़ आज हमें नजर नहीं आ रही है, कहीं पर भी नजर नहीं आ रही है। काफी खामोश है। शायद ऐसा लग रहा है कि सचिन पायलट की ओर से, उनके समर्थकों की ओर से इशारा अपने लोगों को किया हुआ है कि वो हंगामा नहीं करें, वो प्रदर्शन नहीं करें, वो शक्ति प्रदर्शन नहीं करें। चीफ मिनिस्टर सचिन पायलट बनेंगे, ये भरोसा, ये उम्मीद है और शायद ये भरोसा पार्टी हाईकमान ने दिलाया होगा। इसलिए अब आप देखिए कि नारेबाजी, जो नारेबाजी हो रही है वो सचिन, ये देखिए कि अशोक गहलोत कैंप की ओर से हो रही है। ये ना जगह जगह नारेबाजी का सिलसिला शुरू हो गया। ये देखिए कि तो अलग अलग अब आप देखिए कि पुलिस हटाने की कोशिश कर रही है।
High drama there ensuing in Jaipur. This even as the Congress was hoping to hold a CLP meeting to make a contingency plan, to find a plan B of what happens in Rajasthan if Ashok Gehlot actually becomes the Congress's president here come election day. Now remember, he hasn't even filed for his nomination yet. He hasn't even picked up that nomination paper. But the Congress wanting to make a plan B, keep a contingency plan in place. Unfortunately, their own party MLAs, their own party leaders now upping the ante, sending a very clear message to Mallikarjun Kharge and Ajay Makhan and in turn to Sonia Gandhi that you cannot mess with Ashok Gehlot as far as Rajasthan is concerned. Listen in to some of those reactions coming in.
क्योंकि विधायक जिस तरीके से आए उससे लग रहा है कि अशोक गहलोत को चीफ मिनिस्टर पद से क्या पार्टी हटाने जा रही है, फैसला हो चुका है और उसको लेकर नाराजगी है समर्थकों के बीच में। और अब होना यह है कि अब ऐसे हालात के अंदर आखिर होगा क्या तब जब अशोक गहलोत को लेकर आप देखिए कि अशोक गहलोत कांग्रेस के अंदर गांधी परिवार के सबसे विश्वास पात्र माने जाते थे। जब कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष के लिए नाम चला तो पूरे देश भर में ये माना गया कि अशोक गहलोत सबसे अनुभवी है, अशोक गहलोत की छवि गांधीवादी है, अशोक गहलोत कांग्रेस के अनुशासित सिपाही है, वफादार है और कई सारी ऐसी खूबियां बताई गई जिससे अशोक गहलोत को कांग्रेस के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष पद के लिए योग्य माना गया और इसीलिए कहा गया कि अशोक गहलोत अब
Bhavani there getting us the very latest as far as the drama that is ensuing there in Jaipur. Remember, this comes at a time when the Congress was trying to get its house in order, when the pilot camp is eyeing a way in with Ashok Gehlot out, seeing a national role for himself. Perhaps that would make the space for Sachin Pilot as the Chief Minister of Rajasthan going into election year. Remember, the state goes to elections later next year, about a year and a half to go. But Ashok Gehlot, his supporters there making it very clear that that cannot happen, that will not happen and we will ensure so. Cutting across, back to Bhavani getting us the latest from Jaipur.
को सीधे उनकी अथॉरिटी को चुनौती है कि अगर अशोक गहलोत मुख्यमंत्री नहीं है तो नए मंत्रिमंडल रहेगा, नए बाकी विधायक रहेंगे। यानी कि यहाँ पर ये रात कांग्रेस के लिए कड़ी परीक्षा की रात है, कांग्रेस हाईकमान के लिए, उसकी अथॉरिटी के लिए, गांधी परिवार के लिए, कि ऐसे हालात में जिसको वो सबसे वफादार मानते हैं वो आज सड़क पर है, उनके खिलाफ है, झंडा उठाकर खड़ा, जिसको वो राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बनाना चाहते थे, आज उसके समर्थक, आज उसके विधायक न सिर्फ सड़क पर है। इस्तीफा वो भी पार्टी हाईकमान को नहीं देना, इस्तीफा मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत को खुद को भी MLA इस्तीफा दे सकते थे, सीधे CP जोशी अध्यक्ष को देना। इसका मतलब सीधा सीधा है कि नाराजगी कितनी है। और सीधे तौर पर जो अशोक गहलोत के समर्थक विधायक कह चुके हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि मुख्यमंत्री वफादार को बनाया जाए। वफादार की उनकी परिभाषा ये कि जो अशोक गहलोत के साथ है, जिन्होंने जो मानेसर नहीं गए, मानेसर यानी कि
We're getting you the very latest coming in from Jaipur, where all the action now that was supposed to happen at Ashok Gehlot's residence, where the CLP meeting or the Legislative Party meeting was to happen, but that has now shifted to the Speaker's residence because 92 MLAs, all of whom who are supporters of Ashok Gehlot, decided to skip that crucial meeting where two national observers of the Congress party were there. Instead, they held a meeting at another close aid of Ashok Gehlot's residence, and in that meeting they decided that unless Ashok Gehlot stays on as the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, our support will not stay. 92 MLAs there ready to sign a resolution going on to say that if Ashok Gehlot is replaced, if he is removed as the Chief Minister, then 92 of us will hand in our resignation. And this is nothing but a pressure building tactic by one camp, perhaps sensing that this is an opportunity for Sachin Pilot to finally get his foot in the door. Back to Bhavani getting us the latest.
विधायक जब इस्तीफा दे चुके हैं, उनके मंत्री दे चुके हैं, तो वो मुख्यमंत्री रहने के लिए इस वक्त वो मुख्यमंत्री नहीं रहना चाहेंगे और उनके साथ जाना चाहेंगे। सब जानते हैं कि ये जो शक्ति प्रदर्शन है गहलोत का, ये बिना अशोक गहलोत के नहीं हो सकता। तो अब ऐसी स्थिति में अशोक गहलोत खुद यहाँ पर आ सकते हैं, इस्तीफा ऑफर कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उससे पहले लगातार ये कोशिश की जा रही है। जो राजस्थान कांग्रेस के प्रभारी है अजय माकन, वो CM हाउस के अंदर है, वो मनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं अशोक गहलोत को, वो बात कर रहे हैं। और इसके अलावा जो मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे हैं, विपक्ष के नेता, सीनियर नेता कांग्रेस के अंदर, उनको भेजा गया। आप इससे अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि ये पार्टी हाईकमान को अंदेशा था कि राजस्थान के अंदर गहलोत समर्थक नाराज हो सकते हैं, कोई कदम उठा सकते हैं, तो वो तैयारी जरूर थी। लेकिन ये उम्मीद कतई नहीं की थी कि इस तरीके से सारे विधायक मिलकर इस्तीफा दे देंगे और पार्टी हाईकमान की अथॉरिटी को इस तरीके से चुनौती देंगे।
No one would have expected Ashok Gehlot to actually come out with such a warning, to do it all behind the scenes and still give the Congress party a hard time. Late night drama there ensuing in Jaipur, and we here are tracking all the very latest. But a quick break on this edition. We'll be back in just 2 minutes and getting you all the latest from on ground, as of course the political fight that ensues. Don't go anywhere.
भारत को विकसित राष्ट्र बनाने का संकल्प पूरा करेगी। मंडी में हो रहा ये आयोजन इसी युवा शक्ति का, युवाओं पर देश के इसी विश्वास का प्रतीक है।
Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina spoke about Rohingya refugee crisis in her country while addressing the 77th United Nations General Assembly session in New York. She said Rohingyas cause serious ramifications of the country's economy, environment, security and political stability. She also urged the United Nations to play, quote, an effective role in this matter.
পরিবেশ, নিরাপত্তা এবং সামাজিক ও রাজনৈতিক স্থিতিশীলতার উপর মারাত্মক প্রভাব ফেলছে। তাদের প্রত্যাবাসনের অনিশ্চয়তা সর্বস্তরে ব্যাপক হতাশার সৃষ্টি করছে। মানব পাচার ও মাদক চোরাচালান সহ আন্তঃসীমান্ত অপরাধ বৃদ্ধি পাচ্ছে। এমনকি এ পরিস্থিতি উগ্রবাদকেও ইন্ধন দিতে পারে। এই সংকট প্রলম্বিত হতে থাকলে তা এই
India gave a befitting reply to Pakistan over Kashmir issue. New Delhi said it's regrettable that Pakistan Prime Minister chose platform of this assembly to make false accusations against India. A polity that claims it seeks peace with its neighbours would never sponsor cross-border terrorism nor shelter planners of horrific Mumbai terror attack.
It is regrettable that the Prime Minister of Pakistan has chosen the platform of this August Assembly to make false accusations against India. He has done so to obfuscate misdeeds in his own country and to justify actions against India. A polity that claims it seeks peace with its neighbours would never sponsor cross-border terrorism, nor would it shelter planners of the horrific Mumbai terrorist attack, disclosing their existence only under pressure from the international community.
Congress MP Shashi Tharoor has become the first to officially set foot in the race for the post of Congress President. The leader's representative collected the nomination papers for the elections today from Madhusudan Mistry, the party's Central Election Authority chairman. A shocking video has emerged of a group.
"22 weeks of unparalleled domination. India's indisputable number one.
CNN News 18, on your side.
The man who claims to be a taxi driver for a travel company alleges that he didn't get paid for the months of May and June. When he went to the travel agency's office at the airport, he claims that the employees started misbehaving with him. The taxi driver alleges that when he asked for the manager's number, the female employees started thrashing him.
NTR University renaming now continues to get bigger after junior NTR's son and Hindupur MLA Nandamuri Balakrishna has launched a scathing attack on Chief Minister Jagannath Reddy. In a Facebook post, he wrote, and I quote, "NTR is the backbone of Telugu civilization. There are leaders who are still thriving on the arms left behind by this greatest man," unquote. Convicts in Bilkis Bano case have filed an affidavit before Supreme Court, terming their remission justified and as per the remission policy of the Gujarat government. The convicts have also added that the plea filed against the remission by Mahua Moitra and Suhashini Ali is politically motivated. Pune police has taken cognizance of the slogan raised during PFI protests yesterday and is investigating all slogans raised in the protests. Pakistan Zindabad slogans were heard outside the district collector's office, where PFI cadres gathered against the recent ED CBI police raids against their outfit. Some cadres were detained by the police and others arrested this morning. In an effort to unite opposition parties ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and RJD Chief Lalu Prasad Yadav will be meeting Congress President Sonia Gandhi in New Delhi on Sunday. Day after Amit Shah slammed the Bihar Chief Minister for betraying the people's mandate and ditching the BJP, Lalu Prasad Yadav hit back at the Union Minister. He said BJP government has been removed in Bihar and BJP will be decimated in 2024 as well.
अमित शाह बिल्कुल पगलाए हुए हैं। उनकी सरकार वहाँ से साफ हो गया और 24 में भी सफाया होने वाला है, इसलिए वो दौड़ के जा रहे हैं, बोल रहे हैं जंगल राज, ये राज, वो राज। अभी गुजरात में जब थे तो क्या किए थे? नहीं, उनका जंगल राज था गुजरात में, जब ये थे वो।
Union Home Minister Amit Shah reviewed border security with DGs.
Welcome back. You're tuned into CNN News 18 and I'm Poonam Burde, and the big story we're tracking at this hour is the late night drama that is unfolding in Jaipur as the Rajasthan rumble continues. Gehlot's MLAs, his camp, now upping the ante, showing the national observers that are there, showing the top brass of the Congress party who really is the boss as far as Rajasthan is concerned. 92 MLAs all ready to resign if the party decides to replace Ashok Gehlot as the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, just because he wants to take up the role of the Congress's top boss here in the national capital. The message is very, very clear. You may want to believe in the one man, one position principle, but that does not apply to Ashok Gehlot. MLAs from the Congress party there sending out an ultimatum, a warning to the top brass. If you replace Ashok Gehlot, then you will have the risk of losing the government as well. It is a 200 strong assembly in Rajasthan. 92 Congress MLAs there, all of whom backing Ashok Gehlot. going on to say that if you replace Ashok Gehlot as the Chief Minister of the state, all of us will resign. That show of strength now happening outside the Speaker CP Joshi's residence. All of those MLAs ready with a resolution, 92 signatures on that piece of paper to say, if you remove Gehlot, then we will resign too. That resolution is ready to be handed over to the Speaker of the House. That perhaps will signal the biggest crisis the Congress faces as far as Rajasthan is concerned. The timing of all of this is extremely important because this comes on the day two national observers decided to land in Jaipur, hold a meeting of their MLAs to plan for a contingency project as far as Rajasthan was concerned going into election year next year. Pallavi Ghosh, my colleague and senior editor, joins us for more on this. High drama there, Pallavi, ensuing in Jaipur. Ashok Gehlot not saying anything publicly, but his MLAs there doing the work for him.
Yes, absolutely. But this makes it very, very difficult, the situation, because now a couple of things which can start happening. One, will this be now used as an excuse by supporters of Ashok Gehlot and he himself to not file the nomination for the sake of Rajasthan and for stability in the state? Second, does it make the road even more tougher for Sachin Pilot? In fact, some of the MLAs who have been speaking out and some who spoke to the Congress top leadership, they made the point that many of us stood by Ashok Gehlot, saved the government, when those who had rebelled against them are now being considered for a top post. How fair is that? Shouldn't loyalty be rewarded? That's exactly the question. But I think behind all of this, Poonam, it's the central leadership which is once again being made to look weak. Somehow Ashok Gehlot came across as a person who's going to be becoming the next Congress president. His first big task, and in fact the task of any president, is to keep the flock together. But look at the irony of it. Even before his filing his nomination, he's unable to keep the Rajasthan Congress Party together. This, of course, is going to start raising question marks over him as well. Second point, of course, is the fact that the central Congress leadership, if they have sent off their observers to a state to try and find a solution, that clearly is not happening. The situation is falling apart. The party seems to be falling apart. And BJP, of course, is going to lap up this opportunity, especially in a poll-bound state in 2023, where in any case they are looking at and hopeful of a victory.
Absolutely. The timing of all of this is extremely important because a year and a half in election season in a state where they have had issues of revolt and internal rebellion, this kind of crisis is not going to bode well for the Congress party, Pallavi, isn't it? It's not good for the optics. It's not good for their strategy.
Yes, and it's not good for the optics. It's not good for the party. And, we have the Congress party in power in two states, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. The main reason why the Congress party lost in Punjab was also because they were unable to restore the situation at the right time. The delay is what led to the undoing of the Congress party. And could Rajasthan end up becoming another Punjab? Will it once again show that how the central leadership of the Congress party, which is the Gandhis, are unable to gauge? Clearly, the entire Bharat Jodo Yatra will now be overshadowed by what is happening in Rajasthan. Clearly, Poonam, that is emerging as the bigger story.
Absolutely, and the BJP is already picking up on that even as the Congress and Rahul Gandhi particularly tries to go on this Bharat Jodo Yatra, the party really is crumbling, the party is falling apart, and that really seems to not be of priority to Rahul Gandhi or the top brass of the party. Stay on with me because Bhavani also getting us the very latest from on ground there. Bhavani, काफी समय हो चुका है, ये सारे MLAs जो गहलोत के साथ हैं वो सारे सीपी जोशी के घर के बाहर खड़े हैं. इसके बाद क्या रणनीति है उनकी?
अशोक गहलोत का साफ संदेश पार्टी हाईकमान को, कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष सोनिया गांधी को कि राजस्थान में फैसला मुख्यमंत्री का उनके बगैर फैसला नहीं किया जाए, उनकी मर्जी के बगैर नहीं किया जाए और उनकी मर्जी साफ है जो उनके समर्थकों के जरिए प्रकट हो रही है कि सचिन पायलट सीएम के रूप में मंजूर नहीं है और पार्टी हाईकमान सचिन पायलट को सीएम बनाना चाहता है। ये एक साफ तस्वीर आ रही है। हालांकि औपचारिक तौर पर कुछ नहीं कहा गया, लेकिन जो प्रक्रिया शुरू हो रही है उससे अशोक गहलोत कैंप मानकर चल रहा है कि ये सचिन पायलट को सीएम बनाने की प्रक्रिया है, क्योंकि रायशुमारी करने के लिए बैठक बुलाई गई है जिसमें ऑब्जर्वर आ चुके हैं और वो राय लेकर पार्टी, क्योंकि अभी पार्टी के अध्यक्ष सोनिया गांधी अंतरिम अध्यक्ष है, तो वो जाहिर तौर पर उनके हाथ में, अगर विधायकों के जरिए ये कांग्रेस के अंदर एक परिपाटी है, लगातार कांग्रेस में जब भी मुख्यमंत्री का फैसला हो या कोई भी फैसला हो तो
it is going to be a difficult decision for the Congress top brass to take. Two national observers, Mallikarjun Kharge and Ajay Makhan, were in Jaipur to take stock of the situation. Unfortunately, this is a situation they did not think they would be facing, Pallavi, isn't it? They perhaps thought that there will be some sort of resistance or a revolt coming in from the pilot camp, but it's hardly expectant of the Gehlot camp to up the ante and put pressure like this.
But, I also think, Poonam, at some point of time, perhaps the central leadership was sensing that things would not be easy. I think that's the main reason why they sent Ajay Makhan and they also sent Mallikarjun Kharge. Both of them are again considered to be loyalists to at least calm the tempers. And Ajay Makhan has been in charge of Rajasthan earlier too. What they were hoping for is a one-line resolution by the end of the day, which would say that let Mrs. Gandhi decide what really needs to be done. Unfortunately, forget this resolution. There doesn't seem to be any kind of a meeting ground between both the sides. I think it was to be expected that the Gehlot camp or the Gehlot supporters would not give up easily, despite the fact that Sachin Pilot has been trying to reach out to many of the MLAs, to other camps as well. And when he left the national capital, I'm sure he was quite confident, so as his supporters were, that they would be able to, finally get control of the seat in Rajasthan. It seems extremely difficult, which is why I think it's going to cast a shadow over the Congress presidential elections. I mean, the Navratras begin tomorrow. Technically, the nomination process began on 24th, but when you look for an auspicious time, it's going to be from tomorrow till 30th, which means you just have 4 to 5 days. So far, we only have a specific date for Shashi Tharoor to file a nomination papers on 30th. Will this have an impact on Ashok Gehlot actually being projected as the presidential candidate for the Congress party? We'll just have to wait and watch. Where there are other names which are going to be thrown up. A party which was hoping to have elections to show that it's united, is unfortunately for them, it really seems to be falling apart, at least in Rajasthan.
Right, and like you've been mentioning, Pallavi, this seems like a redux of Punjab. They clearly failed there. Our opposition party took the opportunity, pushed them out of the very few states that they were in power in. Are we going to look at a redux in Rajasthan? And if so, then it is extremely worrying for a party that wants to be the fulcrum of the opposition for 2024.
Yes, I mean, every time the Congress wanted to be in charge of the opposition front, I know political parties like, say, the Trinamool Congress would raise the point that if you cannot keep your own party together, how can you expect us to allow you to keep an opposition front together? This certainly is going to be seen as a huge setback, but I think that's something we should come to at a time when, the Rahul Gandhi is at a Bharat Jodo Yatra, where the Congress certainly would want that to be the focus. That clearly doesn't seem to be happening.
Stay on with me. Bhavani also getting us the very latest from on ground there. It's been a while since these MLAs landed at the Speaker's residence. What's exactly transpiring there now? Let's cut across.
देने बिना पार्टी की मंजूरी के अगर विधानसभा अध्यक्ष के पास पहुंच जाते हैं, इसका मतलब है कि अब स्टैंड ले चुके हैं अशोक गहलोत, ये स्टैंड ले चुके हैं। कुछ यहाँ पर हलचल लगातार बढ़ती जा रही है। शायद हो सकता हो पीछे जिस तरीके से बढ़ रही है, शायद हो सकता हो कि कहना मुश्किल है अशोक गहलोत हैं या कोई और मिनिस्टर्स हैं, लेकिन जिस तरीके से आने का सिलसिला है, हम जैसे ही अशोक गहलोत पहुंचते हैं, हम लाइव तस्वीरें बताएंगे। न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया पल पल आपको पूरे जो बैटल ग्राउंड की लाइव तस्वीर बता रहा है। हमारे दर्शक सबसे पहले देख रहे हैं, वो तस्वीरें हम लगातार आपको बताएंगे। लेकिन जो बड़ी बात जिसका जवाब आप जानना चाहती है, जिसका जवाब देश जानना चाहता है कि आखिर ये जो क्या दबाव की रणनीति है, बिल्कुल बड़ा दबाव बनाने की कोशिश है। अशोक गहलोत की कोशिश दो तरीके की है। एक कोशिश ये है कि यहाँ इसे बताया जाए कि राजस्थान में अशोक गहलोत से आगे कोई नहीं है, अशोक गहलोत ही राजस्थान में सबसे बड़ी ताकत है। जैसा उनके समर्थक कहते हैं, राजस्थान में कांग्रेस अशोक गहलोत से शुरू होती है, अशोक गहलोत पे खत्म होती है। तो वो ये बताने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि उनसे आगे नहीं है। और कांग्रेस के सामने सबसे बड़ी चुनौती यही है। सचिन पायलट को पहले भी पार्टी हाईकमान राजस्थान में कमान सौंपना चाहते थे, लेकिन अशोक गहलोत के दबाव की वजह से वो जिस तरीके से संख्या बल से ताकत दिखाते आ रहे हैं, पार्टी हाईकमान को पीछे हटना पड़ा। और अभी देखिए कि ये अंदेशा कुछ न कुछ पार्टी हाईकमान को था, यानी कि सोनिया गांधी को था, इसीलिए उन्होंने नामांकन अशोक गहलोत के नामांकन दाखिल करने से पहले ऑब्जर्वर भेजा, जिससे कि राजस्थान का फैसला पहले हो जाए। क्योंकि ये आशंका पहले से बनी जा रही थी। अशोक गहलोत को आप याद कीजिए कि 3 दिन पहले जब अशोक गहलोत दिल्ली गए तो सबसे पहले उन्होंने बयान ये दिया था कि वो कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष के साथ में मुख्यमंत्री की जिम्मेदारी भी संभाल सकते हैं, दोनों पदों पर रहना चाहते हैं। उन्होंने कहा था कि पार्टी संविधान में या उदयपुर डिक्लेरेशन में ऐसा कोई प्रोविजन नहीं था। वहीं से ये सारी लड़ाई शुरू हुई थी। तब पार्टी हाईकमान के कान खड़े हुए थे कि अशोक गहलोत मुख्यमंत्री का पद नहीं छोड़ना चाहते हैं। उसके बाद में तत्काल दिग्विजय सिंह बोले थे कि उदयपुर डिक्लेरेशन की पालना होगी। फिर राहुल गांधी को कोच्चि के अंदर कहना पड़ा कि उदयपुर डिक्लेरेशन के तहत एक व्यक्ति एक पद पर रहेगा, यानी अशोक गहलोत अगर कांग्रेस के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बनते हैं तो उन्हें मुख्यमंत्री का पद छोड़ना होगा। ये जंग वहीं से शुरू हो गई थी। उसके बाद में पार्टी हाईकमान को यह अंदाजा हो गया था कि अशोक गहलोत आसानी से मुख्यमंत्री का पद नहीं छोड़ेंगे और अगर वो पार्टी अध्यक्ष बनने के बाद में भी तब जब, क्योंकि उनके पास में भी एक सत्ता आ जाती है पार्टी अध्यक्ष के नाते, वो खुद हाईकमान बन जाते हैं, तो अगर तब वो मुख्यमंत्री का पद नहीं छोड़ते हैं तो ये कांग्रेस के लिए काफी चिंता की बात थी और ऐसी स्थिति में काफी मुश्किल हो जाती। तो इसी का रास्ता खोजने के लिए, क्योंकि पार्टी पहले से मन बना चुकी थी कि राजस्थान में अशोक गहलोत को दिल्ली में राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बना दिया जाए और राजस्थान में सचिन पायलट को कमान सौंप दी जाए, जो लगातार एक पॉपुलर डिमांड थी। और अशोक गहलोत के
Ashok Gehlot there, still tight-lipped. We do not know what exactly it is that either of the two leaders, Sachin Pilot or Ashok Gehlot, have to say about this drama unfolding. And Pallavi, it will be interesting to see the kind of reactions that come to the fore, because it's impossible, some would say, for 92 MLAs to have actually gone out and issued such an ultimatum without Gehlot's approval.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I as I said, I mean, you know, what is happening in Rajasthan, what is playing out today is going to cast its shadow on the Congress presidential polls. Every time we would talk about a non-Gandhi as a Congress president, there have always been those staunch Gandhi loyalists, Poonam, who would make the point that minus the Gandhis, the party is going to split. I think it's those people who are going to surface again, who are going to make the point that, see, this is the reason why we need to have Gandhis at the helm. Because if the name of an Ashok Gehlot or a possibility of a non-Gandhi becoming the party president has led to so much of chaos in the party, then you can very well imagine what will happen should there actually be a non-Gandhi as a party president. Now, the point over here is that is this going to apply substantial pressure on the Gandhis to rethink? Will it put pressure on Rahul Gandhi to rethink his decision and actually file his nomination papers? It also gives rise to this question, I'm afraid, Poonam, is this entire script actually scripted, pre-written? Is this what is being planned, that you get a momentum where it becomes imperative for Rahul Gandhi to step in again to keep the party together? Or Sonia Gandhi continues as an interim party president or at least contest those elections, so on and so forth. So first impact of the Rajasthan crisis, I would say definitely is going to have on the presidential elections. We were in fact told that Ashok Gehlot is likely to come to the national capital tomorrow to file his nomination papers either on 26 or on 27. Interesting to see whether that's going to be happening or he's going to stay put in Jaipur at a time when his government or his party seems to be falling apart.
Right, the party seems to be falling apart. And another question that the Congress top brass and Sonia Gandhi, particularly Pallavi, will have to answer is about this one man, one position principle. Are they going to bend that for Ashok Gehlot?
Well, I mean, having gone so far where Ashok Gehlot himself seems to have agreed and a Udaipur resolution, how do you go back on that? And what we are seeing today happening in Jaipur is largely because of this one man, one post. I think it will be a loss of face either which way. If the party decides to go back on, as you say, the principle of one man, one post, it makes the party look weak. The resolution, Udaipur resolution, also look weak. If the party decides, okay, fine, we still want Ashok Gehlot to become the party president, how are they going to save the crisis over there? Third, if it is decided, okay, for the sake of Rajasthan, Ashok Gehlot should not contest the presidential elections, it's going to make the top leadership look even more weak. It's these instances which makes one wonder whether the Congress party is getting its act right and managing to hold the show.
Absolutely. Is the Congress getting its act together, or are they just focusing on Bharat Jodo and not really Congress Jodo? That's also something the BJP is asking. Bhavani is getting us the very latest from on ground there as the drama unfolds. Reactions also pouring in of all these MLAs who are now ready to resign if the Congress decides to replace Ashok Gehlot as the Chief Minister. Let's listen in to some of those reactions coming in.
17 तारीख के बाद मीटिंग बुलाते हैं, चुनाव हो जाते कर जाते सारा। मुख्यमंत्री जी ने मीटिंग बुलाई है तो मुख्यमंत्री जी ने खुद नहीं तो कहा था मैं अभिभावक हूँ, तो मुख्यमंत्री जी अभिभावक कहकर और एमएलए की राय को महत्व नहीं देंगे क्या? अशोक गहलोत जी को भी महत्व देना चाहिए। मैं कह रहा हूँ ना खुल के, अशोक गहलोत जी की भी जिम्मेदारी है। तो आप इनसे पूछो तो सही ये क्या चाहते हैं। अभी अशोक गहलोत जी के पास एक ही तो पोस्ट है, मुख्यमंत्री हैं। अभी राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बनने दीजिए तब बात करेंगे। कौन मना कर रहा है? वो तो खुद ही कह चुके हैं। यहाँ एमएलए ये कह रहे हैं एक ही तो पोस्ट है, 92 विधायक है मेरे पास जो गिनती है।
92 MLAs are with us. 92 MLAs are ready to resign if Ashok Gehlot is removed or replaced. Pallavi, what was the need for this meeting of the CLP to happen today? That's one question. A state minister, someone who's close to Ashok Gehlot, is asking the leadership today.
Well, I mean, I think the whole CLP meeting was called today also, Poonam, because I think the party was looking at a closure. They were hoping that, everything would fall in place. You would have an Ashok Gehlot coming here possibly tomorrow or day after to file his nomination papers, Shashi Tharoor doing it on 30th, and maybe one or two more people doing it, at least to send out a message. It could be a form of democracy. You also had two senior leaders like Ajay Market and Mallikarjun Kharge being sent off to Jaipur to, talk to the MLAs. I still remember, and we had reported on this, Ashok Gehlot had spoken to Mrs. Gandhi, if you remember, a few days back before he was leaving for Kochi, and he had conveyed very, very categorically let the MLAs decide. I think if an aware and an alert Congress leadership would have understood the point over there, because when you say to let the MLAs decide, Ashok Gehlot is very well aware of the fact that most of the MLAs are with him. It would have been a show of strength. It would have been a tug of war, which certainly would have put Sachin Pilot in a very precarious situation. Beyond this, Poonam, there have been many people who have been telling this to us, even as far as the Congress headquarters is concerned. How can we trust Sachin Pilot? Isn't he the one who had actually hobnobbed with the BJP, tried to destabilize the Gehlot government when that so-called rebellion had taken place? So there are a couple of voices over here at the center also who feel that perhaps Sachin Pilot would not have been the right choice. And again, I'm going back to the same point. The developments in Rajasthan, will it have an impact on Ashok Gehlot's candidature as a party president? Will the Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, rather the Gandhis now decide which is more important, Rajasthan or having Ashok Gehlot as a party president? And will this mean that Ashok Gehlot will not be expected to file the nomination points? This is all speculation, this is all conjecture, but clearly the events in Rajasthan just goes on to show that how the central leadership doesn't seem to be in grip of the situation.
Absolutely. Do stay on with me because the BJP, of course, is going to sense an opportunity because we are headed into an election year and a half before Rajasthan goes to elections. And BJP's media in charge of Rajasthan, Pankaj Joshi, now joins us on this broadcast. So thank you so much for speaking with us this late at night, even as that drama unfolds there in Jaipur. What do you make of this? Is this just Ashok Gehlot showing the party top brass who's the boss?
बिल्कुल, हम तो पहले ही लगातार कह रहे थे कि अशोक गहलोत जो है लगातार जो है आला कमान को जो है उनको जो है उनकी एक तरीके से हैसियत जो है दिखाने का काम किया है और लगातार जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी कह रही थी कि कहीं ना कहीं अंदर जो है कांग्रेस के अंदर कहीं ना कहीं मतभेद है, वो मतभेद आज सामने नजर आ रहे हैं। क्योंकि जो चीज भी दिखाई दे रही है उस सबके पीछे जो है आप पूरे मीडिया जगत को देखेंगे, पूरी जगह देखेंगे तो सीधा नाम जो है कहीं ना कहीं अभी जो है प्रेजेंट सीएम का आ रहा है। तो हम ये कहना चाह रहे हैं कि जो बार बार कहा करते थे कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो है यहाँ अनस्टेबल कर रही है, कांग्रेस खुद अनस्टेबल है, कांग्रेस की खुद नीतियां अनस्टेबल है और अशोक गहलोत, क्योंकि आला कमान ये मानते थे कि अशोक गहलोत का जो 4.25 साल का जो 3/4 जो ईयर है उसका जो शासन है वो शासन जो है दोबारा कांग्रेस को रिपीट नहीं कर रहा है। इसीलिए उन्होंने ये था कि कहीं ना कहीं जो है कांग्रेस को जो है चेंज करके और कहीं ना कहीं उसका जो है एक चेहरा बदल किया जाए, लेकिन वो भी जो है कहीं ना कहीं पूरे विधायकों के साथ मिलकर के कांग्रेस।
We'll try and reconnect with Pankaj Joshi of the BJP there, accusing the Chief Minister of Ashok Gehlot there of flexing muscle, of showing the Congress top brass who really is the boss and how they cannot do away with him as far as Rajasthan is concerned. The BJP is also sensing an opportunity, hoping that this Gehlot versus Pilot fight actually gives the BJP the window that they need as far as next year's elections are concerned. Pankaj Joshi, I believe, is back with us. Pankaj Joshi जी, मैं आपसे ये भी पूछना चाहूंगी, 4-4.5 साल के कार्यकाल में ये दूसरी बार ऐसी घटना हो रही है जब कांग्रेस के विधायक 2 कैंप्स में बंट चुके हैं। ऐसी एक स्थिति आ गई है जहां लग रहा है कि शायद सरकार गिर जाएगी। क्या कांग्रेस की सरकार को राजस्थान में और कांग्रेस की पार्टी को बस अपना पार्टी और अपनी सरकार और सत्ता बचाने से मतलब है?
बिल्कुल, देखिए कांग्रेस को लगातार हम जो बात कह रहे थे कि जनता की परवाह नहीं है, क्योंकि आप लगातार देखें तो एक विधायक के बाद एक विधायक के बाद जिस तरीके से कल 2 विधायकों के बेटे जो है करप्शन में पकड़े गए, उससे पहले जो है एक विधायक के बेटे जो है उनके ऊपर 16 वर्षीय जो है बेटी ने जो है आरोप लगाया कि उनके साथ बलात्कार हुआ और उसके बाद जो है उसको दफा दफा कर दिया। तो ये एक घटना नहीं है, लगातार ये घटनाएं जो है लगातार इस चीज को शो कर रही है कि प्रदेश के अंदर जनता जो है त्रस्त है और जो है खुद एक अशोक गहलोत की सरकार जो है कांग्रेस के अपने शासन को बचाने में लगी हुई है। और आपने खुद ने भी देखा कि लगातार खुद इतने कमजोर है मुख्यमंत्री कि वो 2 बार पहले कह चुके हैं कि पिछली बार भी उन्होंने कहा कि मैं 5 साल तक कहीं नहीं जाऊंगा, 5 साल तक कहीं नहीं जाऊंगा। और अभी आपने देखा तो मीडिया के सामने उन्होंने कहा कि मुझे तो अगस्त के अंदर, जुलाई के अंदर ये कह दिया गया था कि मैं छोड़ने को उस दिन तैयार था। तो कहीं ना कहीं अब मुख्यमंत्री की बातें जो रिपीट होकर के आ रही है उसमें कहीं ना कहीं ये विरोधाभास से नजर आ रहा है कि खुद मुख्यमंत्री अपने शासन के अलावा पार्टी को बचाने में कहीं उनका इंटरेस्ट नहीं है। केवल वो चाहते हैं कि कांग्रेस, यदि कांग्रेस रहेगी तो अशोक गहलोत के साथ रहेगी, नहीं रहेगी तो यहाँ पर जो है कोई उनका अस्तित्व नहीं रहेगा। और ये इनकी खुद की दोनों की लड़ाइयों में जो है, खुद पार्टी के आपसी लड़ाइयों में पूरी प्रदेश का जो शासन है वो चकनाचूर हो गया है। लॉ एंड ऑर्डर खत्म है, यहाँ पर लंपी बीमारी फैली हुई है वो खत्म है। कोरोना काल के अंदर लोगों ने जो है बड़े दुष्प्रचार जो है यहाँ पर सहन किए हैं। तो मैं कह रहा हूँ कि इन चीजों को जो है कहीं भी जो है कांग्रेस सरकार का जो है जनता के प्रति कोई सरोकार नहीं है।
जी, जनता के लिए कोई केयर नहीं. It's only about satta, it's only about their power. That's the BJP's allegation against the Congress party, even as that late night drama unfolds there in Jaipur. And CNN News 18 is getting you the very latest from on ground for the benefit of our viewers who are just joining in. Even as the Congress wanted to put a plan B in place if Ashok Gehlot became the Congress's chief here in the national capital, his MLAs, his camp has now decided to up the ante, flex their muscle, issue an ultimatum to the Congress top brass that if they try to remove or replace Ashok Gehlot as the chief minister of the state, then there will be a price to pay. There is a risk of the government destabilizing because 92 of them are ready with their resignation unless Ashok Gehlot stays in charge. पंकज जोशी जी, क्या आपको लगता है ये अशोक गहलोत का अटेम्प्ट ये भी है कि वो अपनी सीएम की कुर्सी भी संभाले रखे और कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष का पद भी संभाले?
देखिए, मैं दो बड़ी बातें आपको बताता हूँ कि देखिए अंदर ही अंदर जो चीजें बाहर करके आई, पूरा मीडिया जगत आज जो है इस चीज का साक्षी बना हुआ है कि ये बात केवल आज आने के बाद अभी तक कोई मीटिंग विधायकों के साथ जो है ना खड़गे जी की हुई है, ना जो है अजय माकन जी की हुई है। जब वो राय लेने आए थे, राय शुमारी करने आए थे, तो मुझे बताइए कि लीडरशिप का प्रश्न कहाँ था? तो कहीं ना कहीं ये जो सारा का सारा जो प्रश्न है, आपने जो बात कहा कि ये केवल दो बात का नहीं है कि अशोक गहलोत जो है राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बनना चाहते हैं और यहाँ की सरकार बनना चाहते हैं। दो बड़ी बातें इसके पीछे हो रहे हैं। वो सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि जितने 4 सालों के अंदर जो इस शासन में भ्रष्टाचार और कुशासन हुआ है, उनकी पोल भी नहीं खुल जाए, क्योंकि दूसरा व्यक्ति आना चाहता है तो वो वही व्यक्ति आना चाहिए जो अशोक गहलोत का करीबी है, जो कम से कम उनकी चीजों को ढक सके। क्योंकि आपने पिछली बार भी देखा 2008 से लेकर के जो 13 की सरकार थी, जहां पर ये बार-बार अशोक गहलोत आज कह रहे हैं कि मैं पार्टी को वापस रिपीट करना चाहता हूं। अरे भाई अशोक गहलोत जी, आपने 2003 के अंदर 121 जो है भारतीय जनता पार्टी जीती थी, आपके जो प्रत्याशी आए थे वो 37 आए थे। उसके बाद 2013 में जो है आपका चुनाव हुआ, जब आप पूरे 5 साल मुख्यमंत्री थे, पूरे जो है आप देखिए कि सारे रिकॉर्ड टूटे हैं और आपने 2/3 बहुमत छोड़ी है, 3/4 बहुमत छोड़ी है। 163 भारतीय जनता पार्टी के जीते थे और केवल कांग्रेस के 21 जीते थे। और आज जो है अशोक गहलोत जी को पता है कि यदि दोबारा चुनाव होते हैं तो कांग्रेस के जो है 21 भी नहीं आएंगे, वो कहीं ना कहीं बहुत कम संख्या रह जाएगी।
जी, इज दिस एन एक्ट ऑफ डेस्परेशन और इज दिस अ प्रेशर बिल्डिंग टैक्टिक? वेल, ओनली टाइम विल टेल। बट पंकज जोशी जी, धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए हियर ऑन CNN News 18. द ड्रामा देयर अनफोल्ड्स in Jaipur even as we speak. Perhaps all of those 92 MLAs waiting for a go-ahead from Ashok Gehlot of what their next course of action should be, still camping outside Speaker CP Joshi's residence. The BJP, of course, sensing an opportunity ahead of elections in the state next year, also taking a jibe at Rahul Gandhi of how he must concentrate on Congress Jodo instead of Bharat Jodo.
That is really for the Congress party to decipher what its internal dynamics are. Obviously, Mr. Ashok Gehlot is clearly sending out a loud and clear message to the Gandhis whose credibility and whose popularity within the party too seems to be completely eroded. But having said that, today I am feeling perturbed about the people of Rajasthan. It is the people of Rajasthan who have to face this and see this. When this government came to power, even then you saw the kind of power politics that played out. 50 days the MLAs were in hostels and hotels and they were trying to just grab power. Rajasthan suffered, and tonight again Rajasthan suffers. Instead of having cabinet meetings to decide as to how Rajasthan can be made rape mukt, danga mukt, aparadh mukt, you have people playing petty political power games at the behest of the Congress First family, and Rajasthan is suffering, and therefore today's images are only a reinforcement.
The Congress crisis in Rajasthan continues, and that will remain our top focus tomorrow as well. But with that, it's me wrapping up on this edition. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Fitting reply to Pakistan over Kashmir issue, New Delhi said it's regrettable that Pakistan Prime Minister chose platform of this assembly to make false accusations against India. A polity that claims it seeks peace with its neighbours would never sponsor cross-border terrorism nor shelter planners of horrific Mumbai terror attack.
It is regrettable that the Prime Minister of Pakistan has chosen the platform of this august assembly to make false accusations against India. He has done so to obfuscate misdeeds in his own country and to justify actions against India. A polity that claims it seeks peace with its neighbors would never sponsor cross-border terrorism, nor would it shelter planners of the horrific Mumbai terrorist attack, disclosing their existence only under pressure from the international community.
Congress MP Shashi Tharoor has become the first to officially set foot in the race for the post of Congress President. The leader's representative collected the nomination papers for the elections today from Madhusudan Mistry, the party's Central Election Authority chairman. A shocking video has emerged of a group of women mercilessly thrashing a man outside the Raipur airport.
The angry woman kept slapping the man, punching him and even thrashing him with a belt. They even tore the man's shirt when he tried to flee from them. The entire incident was allegedly over a monetary dispute. The man, who claims to be a taxi driver for a travel company, alleges that he didn't get paid for the months of May and June. When he went to the travel agency's office at the airport, he claims that the employees started misbehaving with him. The taxi driver alleges that when he asked for the manager's number, the female employees started thrashing him.
NTR University renaming now continues to get bigger after junior NTR, NTR's son and Hindupur MLA.
"22 weeks of unparalleled domination. India's indisputable number one.
CNN News 18, on your side.
And as per the remission policy of the Gujarat government, the convicts have also added that the plea filed against the remission by Mahua Moitra and Suhashini Ali is politically motivated. Pune police has taken cognizance of the slogan raised during PFI protests yesterday and is investigating all slogans raised in the protests. Pakistan Zindabad slogans were heard outside the district collector's office, where PFI cadres gathered against the recent ED CBI police raids against their outfit. Some cadres were detained by the police and others arrested this morning. In an effort to unite opposition parties ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar and RJD Chief Lalu Prasad Yadav will be meeting Congress President Sonia Gandhi in New Delhi on Sunday. Day after, Amit Shah slammed the Bihar Chief Minister for betraying the people's mandate and ditching the BJP, Lalu Prasad Yadav hit back at the Union Minister. He said BJP government has been removed in Bihar and BJP will be decimated in 2024 as well.
अमित शाह बिल्कुल पगलाए हुए हैं। तो उनकी सरकार वहाँ से साफ हो गया और 24 में भी सफाया होने वाला है, इसलिए वो दौड़ के जा रहे हैं, बोल रहे हैं जंगल राज, ये राज, वो राज। अभी गुजरात में जब थे तो क्या किए थे? नहीं, उनका जंगल राज था गुजरात में जब ये थे वहाँ।
Union Home Minister Amit Shah reviewed border security with DGs of SSB, BSF and ITBP in Bihar's Kishanganj. Meanwhile, earlier he inaugurated the building.
Hello and welcome to this special show, Indian of the Year Nominees Special. Now, Indian of the Year is back on CNN News 18 after a brief gap, and we are back with a bang because we're very excited to unveil a brand new category that reflects the aspirations of a rising India. Indian of the Year Startup category. Now, from a year of record funding in 2021, we've seen a sharp reversal that's witnessed layoffs and a slowdown in funding. From 2021, when we minted a unicorn literally every week, we are now entering a phase where the sentiment is bleak all around. But remember, the toughest times give birth to some of the most resilient entrepreneurs. And we are here to tell you about the nominees in this category. They are entrepreneurs who've shown extraordinary perseverance and courage in the face of these tough times, earning them a place in the prestigious Indian of the Year category for startups. Presenting the nominees for Indian of the Year in the startup category. So the nominees are Falguni Nair of Nykaa, Nitin and Nikhil Kamath of Zerodha, Alak Pandey of Physics Wala, Sridhar Vembu of Zoho and Sri Harsha Majeti of Swiggy. It's a very interesting mix because we have a mix of companies that are completely bootstrapped. They haven't raised a single penny in funding, and we also have venture funded companies, and we also have an entrepreneur, Falguni Nair, who started up at the age of 50. Here's a look at their journey.
Falguni Nair is the first woman to lead a profitable unicorn to go public in India in 2021. She started Nykaa at the age of 50 with no experience in starting up and still has a significant stake in the company. Falguni Nair successfully disrupted a brick and mortar industry by taking the digital route to sell beauty products. Nitin and Nikhil Kamath are the founders of Zerodha, one of India's most unique startups. It is India's first discount brokerage firm. It hasn't raised a penny in funding, is profitable, and the Kamath brothers still own a significant percentage in the company. Zerodha has been making trading barrier-free since it was founded in 2010. Physics Wala is the success story of a YouTube channel turning into a unicorn edtech startup. A physics teacher from Prayagraj, Alak Pandey uses shairi, memes and pop culture to make learning more accessible. Along the way, he has also built a unicorn that is profitable and hasn't undertaken layoffs, at least till now. Zoho offers more than 40 plus applications as a complete business operating solution. Sridhar Vembu and Tony Thomas's service firm is bootstrapped and profitable. A firm believer in rural empowerment, Vembu relocated to Tensaki in Tamil Nadu, where he is actively involved in setting up schools and other societal initiatives. Swiggy managed to hold its own in a year that saw a period of excess in quick commerce. Its founder, Sri Harsha Majeti, built an entire new category, grocery delivery platform Instamart, from scratch, even as it grew its core food delivery business. It continues to innovate in its quest to build an on-demand platform that can offer convenience.
To take this discussion forward, I'm very excited to have three leading investors in the Indian startup ecosystem join us on this special show. GB Ravi Shankar, the Managing Director of Sequoia, who joins us all the way from Dubai. Anand Daniel of Axel joining us from Bangalore, and Sanjeev Agarwal, the co-founder of Helion and Fundamentum, joining us from Bengaluru as well. Thank you all very much for joining us on the show. You heard out the nominees this year in the startup category. It's a very interesting mix on the face of it. You have a Nykaa, which had a different journey, Physics Wala and Swiggy, which are venture-backed startups, and you have Zoho and Zerodha, which haven't raised a penny in funding. I'd love to get your opening thoughts on the nominees this year, and what does this reflect about the way the Indian startup ecosystem has matured? GB, take it away.
First, thank you, Chandra, for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure to see founders being celebrated for what they achieved. So first, congratulations to the nominees. Large theme here seems to be frugality and profitability and celebration of that, which is really good to see and refreshing, because we're coming off a year in FY21 where the celebration was all about fundraisers and valuations, and the focus on value creation versus valuations, that boundaries were blurring a little bit. So it's great to see the nominations for the large part companies that are either profitable or bootstrapped, and a celebration of that, because that's a great example to set for many people to follow. It is not all about capital raise; it's about true value creation.
Excellent points there, GB. As you said, it's about value versus valuation. And I think most of the startups in the nominees this year are profitable, which again is a very refreshing change. But it's also something that investors are increasingly asking for in the current environment. Anand, your thoughts? Is this a reflection on about frugality, improving unit economics, profitability kicking in?
Hey Chandra, pleasure to be here, and again congrats to all the nominees. And I think as GB pointed out, the last year the focus has shifted more towards being more frugal and careful with the capital that has been raised, and the reflection of these nominees, like these companies, is a good summary of what's happening there, right? You have companies that are profitable, companies that have been bootstrapped all along, and you talked about the diversity. That's the other thing which stood out for me. You have companies on the consumer tech side, direct-to-consumer brand, and then you have the education startups, you have SaaS companies, you have fintech companies, and different geographies all the way to normally talk about Bangalore and the major cities. So I think Indian startup ecosystem has evolved a lot over the last decade. You're seeing that in the finalists here, and that's a great summary of what's happening in the startup ecosystem.
Sanjeev, your first thoughts on our nominees this time around?
Chandra, first of all, thank you for having me on this show, and congratulations to all the nominees who have made it to your list. I think as GV and Anand highlighted, first thing is that all these companies reflect companies that have been able to combine growth with profitability. And not only combine growth with profitability, but hyper growth with profitability. So this is in a way a new template to building a digital India. And like Anand highlighted, now digital India is cutting across many sectors, whether it is edtech or financial services or enterprise software. So it seems to me that this time around, unlike let's say 2005, 2006, when the venture world started in India, there was only one sector, which was travel. Now digital India is straddling across 8 to 10 sectors, which is very good news for all the people building companies in the digital economy.
Right. Anand, interestingly, one of your investee companies is also on the list, a company that you know very well, Swiggy, and you know its founder also very well, Harsha Majety. What do you think sets Swiggy apart, your thoughts as someone who's known this company well.
Yeah, I think Harsha and the team have always been from the inception maniacally focused on bringing outstanding solutions to the consumer, solving a pain point from the consumer's perspective and working back. It flows down from the top to everyone in the company, and that's probably one of the key reasons why they've been so successful till now, and hopefully will continue to be.
Right. GB, you're someone who knows EdTech well, and we have an EdTech firm on the list, Physics Wala, this year. Again, a very different journey because, it started out as a YouTube channel, was bootstrapped for the longest time. Then suddenly they just, emerged on the scene, became a unicorn. And we are talking at a time when, EdTech, there are doubts about whether this is still going to be a very hot sector. People have gone back to offline. What's your sense on the potential of EdTech for a country like India?
Yeah, I think it's a good question, and sometimes we get carried away by what's going on in the individual companies. The truth is, India has a very, very large school-going population. Talk about 250 million plus kids in that age group that need support and help in achieving good outcomes as they think about education as being their ticket to success, right? And India has always had this emphasis on education. Parents are willing to spend, etc. And what we've seen in the last several years is how EdTech can have a significant supplementary role to play on top of what a school education is providing. So I think the base demand and the base need in the market has not gone away. Now, there's always been, in every type of industry, there's a hype cycle where few things happen, things cannot get spoken about quite widely, then there is a correction, and then there is compounding growth as long as the underlying market. So the way I think about it is Physics Wala is an example of, again, one more player that's able to come, after many other funded players existed, but quietly be able to execute and get to scale. And that only shows you the promise of the underlying category and market. The parents and students are still looking for good products and solutions that can help them achieve the success that they are looking to achieve through education, as a core proposition. So at least we continue to remain optimistic. There are, of course, problems in how the customer acquisition costs are played out for a large number of people and what it means for the industry. But everybody is kind of figuring out answers because these are still very young industries, relatively speaking, compared to the size of the opportunity in the market ahead.
Right. Sanjeev, we still have a long way to go in terms of diversity, not just in terms of industry segments, but also in terms of gender. So from that lens, it is very heartening to see Falguni Nair on the list. But, we would love to have 2-3 women entrepreneurs in the list of nominees going forward. But Falguni's journey has, been so outstanding. She was a corporate executive for pretty much her entire career. She decides to quit. She starts up at the age of 50, and then she's built this massive enterprise that's not only a unicorn, it's also given an exit to its early investors because it's now a public company. What stands out for you about the Nykaa journey? Again, has it given a completely new paradigm in the way you can look at building startups in India?
Absolutely, Chandra. I think one very important learning from Falguni's journey is that age is not really a barrier. You can be a 30-year-old or a 50-year-old, yet you can build a very high-class company. I think the second one which stands out is marrying growth with profitability. That actually Nykaa is probably one of the first in the e-commerce sector which has been able to achieve scale along with good unit economics. And the third thing that stands out about Falguni's journey is that she is not from the industry. She was a banker at Kotak when I first met her. So by sheer first principles, you can build new categories even though you don't come from that category. I think tells us that disruptors probably will come from outside and not from within the industry. So those are the three things that stand out about Falguni for me.
Very inspiring, and I think for those of you who want to start up, remember age no bar, because she managed to start up after her corporate career, and she's made such a success out of it. But GB, you know, Zoho is an interesting journey because here you have a founder who decided one fine day that I'm going to relocate from the United States, give up a cushy life. I'm going to set up base at a village in Tamil Nadu, and I'm going to, you know, take out school dropouts, train them on software development. Basically a completely new paradigm when it comes to rural empowerment and development. And this is honestly the kind of entrepreneurship that we need in the country. You know, it's not just about delivering coriander in 10 minutes or, you know, delivering something else in 5 minutes. This is actual ground level impact. What can, you know, what's your impression of the Zoho journey?
Yeah, look, lots of respect for Sri Vembu and what the team is doing there. And you know, if I remember right again, and Anand may know this closer, you know, Zoho has always kind of taken that strategy of hiring people from tier 2, tier 3 cities and training them and coaching them to, you know, make real engineers and software architects out of them. So they've always had this notion that, you know, this is a trainable skill and you can do this. And it's amazing to see, and it's very inspiring to see the founder kind of relocate and do this, you know, at scale. And I've seen several videos of the simplicity with which he operates. And so it's a great example of how people can contribute and give back. Hopefully many more people are inspired to do that. You know, sometimes you can do this physically like how he is doing. Sometimes you contribute by, you know, supporting financially and in other ways. So, but great example all around to kind of see what he is doing. And hopefully that sets the path for many others to follow.
Right. Anand, I want to get your thoughts on Zerodha. It really stands out for me because here you have, again, a company that's bootstrapped, it's profitable. Importantly, the founders haven't given up equity at all, right? I mean, Nitin and Nikhil still control the company. Unfortunately, what we've seen happen with many startups is, you know, they keep diluting with every funding round and they are just left with single-digit percentages. What stands out for you about Zerodha, the kind of, you know, skin in the game, the ownership that the founders have here?
Yeah, I think if you have a clear market insight that in this case the broking industry model in India, they wanted to change that, and you want to build that over time. You're not in a hurry to build something and raise money and raise valuations, as we talked about. Not every founder wants to go that route, right? So I think Nikhil, they've been very patient in building this company out over a long period of time, and then as the market took off in India, they were there at the right place at the right time. So you can come up with the best product. If the market doesn't inflect, then it's a challenge. But if you look over the last 4 years, the number of retail traders coming on board and overall trading volume has increased. They caught that at the right time, and then they're able to build it in a capital efficient way. So the best funding is if you can make revenue and fund that, right? So and both Zoho as well as the Zerodha in this case, that they can use funding from customers with revenue and build a company over a long period of time and in your own way. And then comes the ownership and all that. That's the byproduct. But I think it's the passion to build something over a long period of time and really impact industry. In the case of Zoho, sitting out of like initially started in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and then and the capacity and the village on level, and they set up the Zoho University. Everything was built to scale and to scale from India and hit like address the global audience there, right? So they built products to the globe. And the last point I'd add on the Zoho side, just to my thing outside in perspective, is that they have given rise to a lot of startups because many founders came out of Zoho.
Oh yes,
and then the
famous Zoho Mafia.
Right. So that's not just the fact that Zoho had in scaling, but like all the companies that have come out, this global SaaS, they were probably the first company to cross 100 million revenue bootstrapped in India, right? We can go fact check that. And then that gave rise younger founders or founders who were working or at that time employees of Zoho, the confidence that they could go out and build these companies on their own. And that gave rise to a whole slew of entrepreneurs who came out. So both these companies, I'm sure the same would be happening out of Zerodha and all these other companies. That the first level impact that these founders have created, and there's also the broader impact that they're creating by creating a whole ecosystem. Right, I'll pause there.
Absolutely. You have the famous Zoho Mafia, the Freshworks Mafia, and so on. And the second order impact that they've had is just significant, all these entrepreneurs. Sanjeev, you know, stepping away from the nominees to the startup ecosystem in general. I mean, last year, this time, there was so much of euphoria. We were counting unicorns literally every week. You know, we set a new record for 2021. But 2022, we've seen such a sharp reversal and so quickly. Now we are counting layoffs. As you see the ecosystem today, are things likely to get better perhaps in a few months? Is it going to be a struggle for the next 1 year? What is your sense?
I think, Chandra, this time around, what happened was that there was too much of liquidity around the world. And India was the last large digital market left underpenetrated. So there was huge amount of FOMO of missing out on Digital India opportunity. And late stage investors really paid up very high valuations, and that reflected in the public market appearances of companies which are digital in nature. So I think many investors went through a torrid time participating in the digital economy. So I think one lesson very clearly learned is that there has to be a reset of valuation across all stages so that businesses are built on fundamentals. And the other lesson learned is that good old habits of focusing on customers and generating very strong NPS and therefore repeat usage, and focus on corporate culture, employee satisfaction, and thereby ability to attract talent. Those are the kind of things that will help you build a company on a long-term basis. So I hope that this time around companies are not overcapitalized and continue to be focused on customers and employees.
Right.
Because that is what helps build enduring companies.
Right. Anand, if there is one entrepreneur, a unicorn or a sector that you would love to see in the nominees list for 2023, what would they be?
Sure. I think one area where I would love to see a lot more innovation and hopefully a founder in your list is building for the what we call the greater Bharat pieces. So if you look at most of the consumer startups, it's now focused on the top of the Indian pyramid, right? So when we find companies, that's an area actively spending time on to see, and then hopefully we find an entrepreneur who can impact the whole of India. Right.
Sanjeev?
I think one company that I'd like to see in your list, Chandra, would be Big Basket. I am a little biased because I am on the board, but I think they are one company that is built by founders who are extremely humble, very focused on customer experience and building a company which is built to last, and building in a category which is ultra competitive, yet they have managed to hold on to their leadership while everyone in the industry has been trying to take a crack at grocery.